Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Gentlemen, first of all, thank you for being here. I couldn't wait to talk to you. Congratulations on one of the most epic accomplishments in the history of combat sports, and that's not an understatement. I mean, it might be an understatement. I mean, it's not an overstatement. It's perfect. That was one of the greatest nights I've ever experienced of watching anything in my life. It was amazing. And to have you cap it off and win the title when you're facing a guy that everybody thought was at least number 2 pound for pound. It was like him and Islam or number 1 and number 2. Mm-hmm. And some odds had you at 6-1, which I thought was very disrespectful. I thought like this is crazy. Like 6-1's crazy. Like Ilya's really good, but so's Justin. This is kind of nuts. Like to have you win the way you won in front of the fucking White House.
Yeah.
How's it feel?
Oh, it's really not real yet. I was expecting to have like an internal sense of relief that like I don't have something to chase because I was always chasing this belt. And I was expecting to wake up with like some kind of natural release of pressure, but I don't know. I don't feel that. As the days go by, every day I feel a little bit more. 2 days ago, my dad was like, what was it like waking up being the champion? And I was like, I haven't even thought about that. And then I was, on the shitter like 10 minutes later, and I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, wow, I'm the fucking champion. Like, it's fucking crazy. And yeah, it's just, I've just been on the grind for so many years now. My dad dropped me off 19 years ago in Colorado. I knew nobody to wrestle, and yeah, to see where I'm at now is just absolutely incredible. I mean, there's really no way to explain how or why, or like why I deserve it, or I worked my ass off. I have made mistakes. I've done things the wrong way, but I've always corrected and got back on the path. And, I think the coaches, the mentors, but mostly the coaches that I've been, and the team that I have around me is a huge reason why I was able to stay on track and just keep moving forward and keep trusting that, I belong in the top of the league.
Well, you've clearly shown it throughout your career, and having a great coach like Trevor, and one of the reasons why I wanted to bring you in, Trevor, is because you guys have a very unique relationship. First of all, I love the YouTube series, The Art of Violence, fantastic. Yeah. And what's great is watching you two guys work together, and Trevor, you being like very acutely aware of when to pull him back, when to ramp it up, when to push. Like you guys having a relationship like that is so critical because you guys know each other so well. You've seen him perform so many times. You've seen him fight and perform in the gym that you know where he's at all the time. And having that sense of where your fighter is at any given time in camp because you know him so well, boy, that's a giant advantage.
It is.
Well, hold on. Just, there we go.
Testes, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think that's a huge advantage is knowing your athlete. And, I've been doing this for a long period of time, but there's lots of coaches out there that consider their fighters their friends. I do consider them one of my best friends, but I put myself more in like a father position of I need to know when to tell them the truth. And I've got myself in trouble with that with fighters where you tell them the truth so hard that you have to let them go. Like a child, like, hey, if we're not in the same beliefs, go live life and see how it is. And then when you return, I'm still going to love you. Having that type of thing where I have to be dead honest for your career, not because it helps us now and it feels good right now at the moment. I have to look at that from the time that we start. We talk about, what are his goals? And then my job is to be an advisor, be a mentor to get him to that place as best as I can because these are his goals. And I want to support those. And in the beginning of his career, his goals were to be the most violent guy out there, the most remembered, the guy that every time someone bought a ticket, they remembered Justin Gaethje selling that show. And then it turned into, no, I want to have this belt. And that was hard because we did go and not get the belt twice. And, it's so cool to be in kind of those scenarios where it's like, damn, you had 2 opportunities. Now it's never going to happen. And that's what life is. Life is one of those things that you keep getting up and chase your goals. You never know how it's going to happen. And yes, you want to dream and you want to have you want to have a plan. But I'll tell you right now, through all the times that I've had championship fighters in business and in life, the plans never work. You always have to adjust them. But it's that dream and that vision to get you to the top of the stairs. You have to get up each one of those steps. So, Justin went out there and wrote a story that I don't think will ever be forgotten, and he did it one round at a time. And that's what impresses me, because his mindset, I love the mental game. I love to talk about the mental game. Even like Ilya. Ilya is a special guy with how he uses his mental. The secret, the if I see it, I believe it, it'll happen. To a point, it's like I always tell people, like, if you go down the ice cream aisle and you're like, hey, I don't know what ice cream I want, you're gonna stand there and go, oh, that one looks good, that one looks good, that one looks. But the people that are like, I want mint chocolate chip, you get in there, you get it done, you grab that mint chocolate chip and you walk out. Very similar to Ilya's last 3 fights. He went out there and he demanded what he wanted. His confidence got him through that. But it makes it very hard when you get that stale, nasty, rotten milk fucking mint chocolate chip. Then you start to go, oh, shit, what is going to happen now? So I think the relationship that we have is me guiding him, me pulling him back at the Strickler situation. Hey, let's pull back a little bit. Let's focus on what's going on. I don't want no distractions. And having someone, and he trusts that I care about him. I love him to death. I love his family. Like, our relationship is so strong, and I need that with my athletes. And I'm just blessed and 100, I say honored, but more importantly, humbled by someone who I've never worked mental with, who shows me different ways to the mental game of fighting, which I feel I'm very high level with. It's something that if you put yourself around people that make you better, this guy makes me better daily, and I'm very grateful for that.
You said something about Ilya, about the fight, about having expectations. And you said you don't have any expectations when you fight. Yeah. That way you don't get thrown off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's huge. I mean, my expectations come from my hard work. Obviously, I expect my body to perform. I understand that I've trained my mind to, and maybe the narcissistic tendencies in me love showing off and performing in front of thousands of people on that stage. That's what I love the most about this, and that's what my personality. Like, I'm very competitive. I want to win, but I'm never going to lie to myself, and that's how I've never had a coach in my entire career since 4 years old of wrestling have to pull me aside and talk about the mental aspect of competition, because it's always been so natural to me. I'm not sure if it's because they see that I'm doing good and that they agree with my approach mentally, or they don't understand what's going on, but I've just always been so comfortable and so content with my situation of, this is the competition, it's the game. I'm very competitive, I'm very petty, I take everything personal. And yeah, when I go in there with I have gone in with expectations, and I said it before the fight, Ilya, like, I said so many true things to him, and I think it's such an asset to tell someone the brutal truth, especially someone like him, because it pushes them farther away from the truth. Even if I tell him the exact truth and exactly what's going to happen, and you're making a mistake by having all these expectations, and when we go to round 2 and when we go to round 3 and it's not going as you predicted it or wanted it to or expected it to, then where do you go from there? And I said that exact thing to him, and then that pushed him farther away from it. And
it's almost like he wanted to prove you wrong.
Yeah, he wanted to prove himself right.
Yeah.
And he was unwilling to be open to opinions, and because obviously I don't know him, he knows him better than himself. But I got here because I am coachable. I got here because I listen. I use every like I posted yesterday. Every person, place, or thing that has happened to me or for me has ultimately molded my mind and my body to be able to deal with the situation that happened on Sunday night. And I can pull so much experience from the past, my losses, my wins, setbacks, failures, accomplishments. I mean, there is so much to learn from it. Every day is a learning experience, and I constantly try to learn and be better. And I don't know why I'm able to perform like that. I think I just think it's who I am. You know, when I say I wanted to be the most exciting fighter ever, it's not that I wanted to be the most exciting fighter ever. The thought of that was fucking cool to me, you know. But I was just being me, and I've been blessed to be able to, you know, through my childhood, through coming from a small town, through having you know, unwavering support from my family and my friends and my coaches and my teachers and everybody from, you know, it's just crazy to be able to come out on top. I mean, it's just crazy.
One of the things I think was a giant factor in the fight is that you have been in wars. You've been in a bunch of wars.
Yeah.
And Ilya really had only had some rough moments against Jai Herbert. You know, Yusuf Zalal gave him some problems, but it was nothing serious. The wars that you've been in, these just down and dirty brawls that you've been in, you're comfortable with the back and forth. You're comfortable with enduring. You know that you're not going to break. You know, if your body holds up, you're going to keep fighting and you can endure. I don't think he'd ever experienced that before. So when you didn't break in the second round, and I think he made a mistake, and I think you're correct about that. You said he made a mistake by going to the ground.
Absolutely.
And that he hurt you to the body.
I told Trevor yesterday, I think, you know, him hurting to my body was one of the main reasons I won. You know, when he hit me, when I dropped, it wasn't the first time he hit me in the body. That was probably like the fourth or fifth one. And he had landed some really clean shots, and he could probably sense that I was in trouble and hurt. And I think that fact made him dump everything because it was his last chance to take me out. And he almost did take me out. But when I went down, in hindsight, it's always easy to make these decisions in hindsight. But when I went down, you know, he's had way more submissions than he has knockouts. And so for him not to have that belief that he's going to be able to go down there, especially with the Khabib fight, especially with the Charles Oliveira fight, especially with all the negativity around my grappling, you know, I think he would have been foolish not to, because I would have stood back up. And he would have charged forward, tried to finish me. I would have jumped on his legs. I would have pulled guard. He was going to end up on top of me no matter what. I wasn't going to sit there and trade with him again. Like, I would have, you know, front rolled into grappling situations or whatever. I would have made him cover me. But I think me getting hit is what made him completely blow his, you know, Shane Carwin-esque, you know, blow his tank.
Yeah.
And, you know, go for the win. And I think that was the choice he had to make because it was going to continue to get worse. I beat his ass in the first round. Like, it might have been close on the scorecards. I absolutely took the first round, but the amount of damage that I inflicted in the first round set up the rest of the fight.
I do think it was a mistake. And you're saying, what you're saying is so correct. But what I'm saying is from a standpoint of him demanding it, he's going to finish you in the first two. Understanding the damage that he was taking, he took big risks. He got in there. He kept his hands on your collarbones. He was landing really good shots. Yeah, the two body shots before that left hook to the liver, that the sound it made was crazy. That last one was clean. It was precise and deep, but you could tell it was already there. But if he didn't put that pressure on himself, and this is what I mean by mistake, is like when you come out, you have to know that you're going 5 rounds. And he knew that he had to unleash everything right there. If he would have been smart in that scenario saying, hey, we got 5 rounds, let me step back a little bit, let me do some damage. But also he's like, hey, let me get you out of there quick. Justin, you know, can't grapple, can't do all these things what a lot of people think, which Justin's a great grappler. And what was so smart about you is when you get tired, that's where the worst decisions happen. That's one of my big things as coaching is we get someone tired and then we make them make bad decisions and then we capitalize on those mistakes. Justin was able to stay so composed here with being speared to the body. And when you take a liver shot, it is way different than the headshot. A headshot's like taking a shot with your buddies at the bar. It's like, hey, let's go. You know, but you take a body shot, you're dying. Like your liver shot, you feel like you're dying. And Justin, all the decisions he made on the ground, from the triangle, from the armbar, from not being flat, so many good decisions were made in that scenario, and I do think it was a mistake. Obviously, there's so many different ways it could go, but those type of moments in fights are what make fights great, is overcoming obstacles. And he had set that up. He had said it. He's like, hey, I'm going to overcome anything. I'm going out there, put the worst thing out there. Like, what are you going to do to me? I've already been knocked out in the last second of a freaking huge fight by Max. Like, you can't do nothing worse to me. And that mindset, I think, is something to take away for all the fighters out there that always, I love how you say it, expect a war, always. Some of the biggest mistakes that I've made with fighters that I had is allowing them to think that they're going to go through this fight easy. And then that fight becomes super hard. You think it's going to be a war, then you're like, hey, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting, even if it was a little bit of a war.
They're not going to help them in that moment.
Yeah.
There's no pulling them out.
That's fighting. Fighting is mentality. I look at this like there's techniques out there and there's things like that. What makes this sport inspirational and makes someone that want to go out there and beat cancer because they were inspired by a fighter, it's not the technical piece. It's getting back up. And it's okay to get knocked down. I love watching people get knocked down because my favorite part is seeing how they get up. And that, to me, is why I love fighting, is how people get up.
Yeah, how they endure. And that was the big story of that second round, that you figured out a way to get through it. And the change in tempo in the third round was very obvious. Because the sprint that you have to make, like what Ilya did when he was trying to finish you, that he used so much fucking energy. And the great Chael Sonnen once said that if you try to win by knockout and fail, you won't win by submission.
Yeah.
And a lot of times that's the case because you know as good as anybody, if you fucking sprint it hard, you wail on the bag with fucking everything you got for 2 minutes, and then they go time. 1 minute's not enough. It's not enough.
No. Even in preparation.
Even 2 minutes. They were still tired after 15 minutes.
That was crazy
Even
too.
in
That was crazy too. We'll talk about
preparation
that.
for these fights, like I'm doing 20, 30, 40-second sprints at most. I mean, that was a 2-minute sprint for him.
Yes.
Yeah.
But full out, full power, everything full power, every punch full power.
You can't even train for that.
Can't. You got to have spots.
Right. And he didn't. He was just unloading. I mean, that's a young man with a tremendous amount of confidence because he's a 2-division world champion and he thinks he's going to go down as the greatest of all time. And hey, he might still.
He still could.
He might
depends on how
still.
it comes
What
back,
is he, 28?
The
29.
odds are fucking great against that right now.
Because of that loss?
I hope he does.
I hope he does too. I hope he
does.
does, and I know that he has a skill.
But
I
that's
know
hard to
that he
overcome.
has the skill to be a champion again. However, same thing with Tony Ferguson. I didn't break Tony Ferguson's confidence. I changed the perception of his opponents of him. And that is a huge factor when you go in there. Like, who are you fighting? What do you figure? You know, before this, he was a guy that you couldn't get through, that you couldn't push through, you couldn't survive with. And once I showed people that all you got to do is get through that, then nobody's ever going to go in there with thinking that he's unbeatable now. You know, and that was his identity. And, you know, that's going to be such a tough task for him to fight people that aren't scared of him.
That's interesting. That's Mike Tyson in his prime. That's Anderson Silva in his prime, where the fight was lost before
Ronda
he even
Rousey.
got in there. Yeah. The fight was lost before he even got in there. Physically, now I don't know what the truth is, but all these reports are that he has 2 fractured orbitals and a broken nose. Just that alone, just the orbitals alone, like anytime you've got eye injuries, like anything severe with your eyes, long-term consequences vary. You know,
It's psychological.
Absolutely.
And
Your
physical.
body heals.
And physical.
The body is resilient.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm telling you, I had
broken
a
bones make stronger bones. Like, that is his orbital bones will be stronger.
It
They will
depends
be
on where,
calcified.
though, Justin. The orbital bone, I had my orbital broken. And for 6 months, I would do this and my tooth would move. And it's right where my sinus cavity is. You remember when you hit me with the spinning elbow?
Your tooth would move
Dude,
when you push
right
on
here,
your cheek?
and my tooth would move.
Oh. Summer is great, but it also comes with a lot of chaos, travel, and spontaneous plans. So make sure you're taking extra care of yourself with AG1. It's a simple daily health drink that replaces your daily multivitamins, probiotics, prebiotics, adaptogens, and more. Plus, AG1's ingredients are sourced from quality partners for potency, purity, and nutrient density. AG1 is clinically shown to close common nutrient gaps and support gut health to keep you going all summer long. Wherever this summer takes you, stay on top of your health with AG1. Visit drinkag1.com/Joe Rogan, and for a limited time, get a free morning person hat and an AG1 flavor sampler for free in your welcome kit with your first subscription. That's drinkag1.com/Joe Rogan.
I still feel the soft spot, but this is a very weak area where your sinus cavity is. And you broke both orbitals and the nose.
Dude,
like I do believe the body is
Merab's?
resilient.
You ever seen Merab's nose?
Yeah.
You ever seen the X-ray of Merab's nose? No. Dude, did I send it to you?
It looks
Jamie?
like a spine because it's been broken.
Dude,
He's got
it's-
33 vertebrae
No,
on
actually,
his nose.
I mean,
It's literally fucking crazy.
I've had 3 broken noses. I've had it fixed twice.
Yeah, I know you had it fixed.
That shit
This
sucks.
is one.
Orbitals
there
suck.
it is.
Orbitals
That's
suck.
Merab's nose.
Oh my god.
Oh
Holy
my god.
smokes.
I mean, that's
That looks like a long cocaine binge right there. It took out the whole fucking left side of his nose.
that looks like
Holy-
you got hit with a sledgehammer. I mean,
That's
that,
crazy.
That nose is crazy.
That is crazy.
That is like, and to fix it, he's going to have no contact for like a year.
Yeah, that's hard.
And so he's not going to fix it.
Yeah.
He's just going to deal. Look how turned it is. I mean, the bone.
I've had my eyes fixed and my nose fixed, and my nose was better for quality of life.
Oh, the
like,
nose is a
obviously
big
being able to
thing.
see was huge, but when your nose is broken, like you have to understand, like getting a haircut fucking sucks. You can't breathe through your nose, so your mouth's open the whole time. You're constantly breathing in fucking hair. Like there's so much.
Being at the
every
dentist
time-
and they get used the
every
suction
time
thing,
you-
you're choking.
Every time you eat food, like
That's funny.
there's something missing.
yeah.
Sleep. I wore a nose strip to bed for 10 years now. And
You
now
used to
I'm
have a
used to
scab, a permanent scab, because I peeled that thing off all the time.
it. Yeah, my nose is used to it now, but yeah,
you
losing
got
your
it
nose
fixed-
is insane.
When you got to fix which fight, was it before the Max fight?
Yeah, right before the Max fight.
And then you could breathe out of it perfectly.
Yeah.
Is it still good now?
Yeah, he broke it, but he didn't fuck with the cartilage. He actually fractured the bone up top, so I didn't have to get it fixed.
It's another factor that when we were talking about the fight, and people were talking about this matchup with Ilya, I said you have to think about what he did to Fiziev. Fiziev is a super talented striker. And then you also have to think about the Max Holloway fight because he was pressing in the first round, but he got caught with a jump spinning back kick to the fucking face. And when that's a game changer. And it happened at the end of the first round, and from that it changed the tone of the fight because it was just dead on. It was perfect.
Yeah, and
couldn't have landed any better. And
the truth of the matter is psychologically I was not there. I was not prepared mentally for the fight when I fought Max Holloway. It was such a different circumstance. It was, a guy that wasn't in my weight class. It was a guy that I'd never thought about fighting. It was for fun. And the whole experience was so different than any other fight I've ever had when it comes to like being mentally prepared for a fight.
what do you attribute that to? Like what was
Myself, my
And us, like we told him to
my
take the fight. He didn't
coaches-
want to take the fight,
my
and then we told
coaches-
him that you're going to keep the title contention fight because that's what they promised us. That's why he was very.
Well, every one of you was like, "Oh, something was different." And it was like, "Well, why didn't you guys fucking say something before the fight?"
You told me
You guys had to tell
afterwards.
me after the fight.
Dude, he
like
tells
I
me
knew something was
afterwards.
different, but like I needed to know.
He
I
tells
needed
me
you guys
afterwards.
to tell me.
He's like this. He's like, I just didn't respect him, and I'm like, how could you not respect Max? And I didn't catch on to it. So it's like I'm always looking for flags and things like that. And 100%, I take 100% responsibility because that's how we learn. Everybody makes mistakes. I remember the Tony Ferguson fight. I didn't give any fucking water. Like there's like things that we all learn from. But the thing when he had told me that, I'm like, how did I not catch that? From you, because he's like, dude, he was a smaller guy, just didn't, and I was like, dude, Max is like one of the guys that I look up to from the outside. Like he is talented.
I remember
Like, super
thinking,
talented.
what am I looking for? Like, what am I afraid of? I kept trying to convince myself that I needed to find what I was to be worried about, and I couldn't find it.
So you always need that before a fight.
Yeah, absolutely.
No matter
I
who
mean,
it is, you're fighting.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah, and so like I've never been as present and like I've never been able to retain a fight, and I before the knockout I was there, like I was in the arena. I saw the lights, I saw the people, I heard the people. Like I've never been there in my life, and I think that I can attribute that to me not being scared, and so me not being in a real fight or flight
real life or death situation.
Yeah,
so
situation.
you weren't fully focused. You could actually hear the crowd.
Yeah,
I
could hear my thoughts. You know, I had thoughts. I've never had thoughts in a fight because I'm so intuitive and reactionary. And that one was just so different. There was so much. And so, sure, the kicks, the eye pokes. No, I think I couldn't have beat him that night with the mentality that I had. And that was my last lesson to learn. I had made my lessons with Oliveira was like I wanted it so much. I wanted it so bad, and I wanted to perform, and I wanted to impress my fans. You know, Rose had a fight that night, and she fought like absolute garbage. And I told my coach, I was like, Coach, don't worry, I won't do that to you.
He said right before we're about to walk.
Right before we're about to walk, I was like, don't worry, Coach, I will never let you down like that. And Coach is pissed, and everyone's, the locker room's all fucked up because Pat's fucking weird.
Is that the Carlos Esparza fight? Was that the same night?
Yeah. And I was at home, and so there was that was my fault. I allowed those things to affect me.
Right.
And to, affect my fighting decisions rather than just being myself. And so that was a huge mistake. Another mistake was... winning 2 or 3 times in a row and just kind of becoming complacent with how serious what we do is and how dangerous this game is and how much luck and chance are a factor every single night. And so, I wasn't doing the extra credit. I wasn't sitting in the sauna at home, and I don't know why. It's just, and then I made that mistake probably into the Eddie Alvarez, Dustin Poirier fights, lost, and then I won 3 or 4 in a row, and then I completely went back to the same mindset of I'm the best in the world. Nobody can beat me. And I paid for it. And those 2 mistakes were huge, very, very big learning lessons. And then the Charles Oliveira fight, I was like, I wanted it so bad, and then I made the moment so much bigger than it actually was because it's just 25 minutes in time, and it's all I can control is being perfect, my preparation for it, but then ultimately being there for 25 minutes and being perfect. And yeah, those are the mistakes that I made. I had to learn. I had to make those mistakes. I would not change anything about my career. I think the farther back into my career you go, the more special this moment is. And, I think in time, again, this is going to age like my career is something special. The way that I did it, the way that I lost, the way that I stayed on track, the way that I, threatened retirement if I wasn't going to get a title shot. The way I called my shots along the way, and the discipline I had. I mean, it's second to none. I've watched this sport my whole life. Since 1992, my dad showed me. I remember as a 4-year-old seeing it. I don't have a lot of, great memories. I remember my childhood, but it's not like you have specifics. But I remember seeing it for my first time in my dad's bedroom. We were sitting there watching it together, and I was enthralled. I was like, this is amazing. I love this shit.
Can you picture that? Him with like a baby bottle just squeezing it.
Yeah, and I was
Dude,
like,
I just
fucking
picture
love
like
this.
I'm a
I
visual
love it.
type of
And then
guy,
I watched
dude.
it, and I was a diehard fan. I've been a diehard fan ever since then. And especially in 2001 when it came along, I was, probably in 7th or 8th grade, 6th or 7th grade, and just fell in love with it. And then, me and going into college, we'd go and sit at Buffalo Wild Wings for 6, 7, 8 hours, spend $5. Those poor service people.
It's just amazing that you've been able to keep this ferocious mentality for so long. Yeah. Because I remember when you first entered into the UFC, the Michael Johnson fight, I was so pumped for it because I was like, get ready, because this is going to be fucking wild. Because I had been a fan of yours when you were fighting, what was it, World Series of Fighting? And then that Michael Johnson fight was everything that I thought it would be. Fucking crazy. Just a wild-ass fight.
Crazy coming out party.
Dude, I giggled so many times in that fight. Oh, dude, when you went against the cage and you were like this, you like look back and you were like, oh, I'm looking for the shot. And you're like blocking off the thing. And then you come back with the right hook and then you let it back in again. And then you hit it with the right hook again off the cage. Dude, there's so many giggle sessions in there. I wasn't nervous because just, again, that's the way he fights. And I'm like, no one's going to forget this fight.
Michael Johnson was swinging,
too. I caught him with that left hand a few times.
Well, that's the same left hand he knocked out Dustin with.
His left hand is so fast.
He's
so fast.
And Michael has power.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, dude. And he was trying to win. I mean, he was going all out. That you guys just emptied out in that fight. It was fantastic. And I was like, there it is.
The 3-rounder to get off the backflip. Took 3 rounds. He got up there, fell off, got up there, fell off. I was like, you can do it. I'm out there motivating
I
him.
always get so scared for your knees
Dude,
when you
oh
do
my
that. I'm
gosh,
like,
dude.
please don't hurt your knees after you won the
I'm
title.
100%, baby. I ain't missed it yet.
We're training for Khabib. And we're over at high altitude. He's doing backflips off the
Cage.
the cage. And I was like, stop. Do this after the fight.
Yeah, he's
And
like, hey, no more back. I was like, today's the day.
Dude.
Today's the day I become a bitch. Like, today's the day.
I'll never forget that moment.
He's
I was
like, you know what?
I turned
Fuck
my
it.
head. I was like, stop. Go ahead.
That is
Let's
kind
do
of
this.
true, right?
Dude,
when
it's
you
mentality.
get something and all of a sudden you're special, then you start protecting it, and then you won't be special anymore.
Dude,
Yeah.
this
Right?
is what makes him
That's
who
why
he
I
is.
told him. I was like, so today's the day, huh?
He's fucking crazy. Like, I never want him to stop being fucking crazy. Like, everything about him in life, when you play golf with him, he's the highlight. He does shit that, like, you'll never fucking see. Like, it's like everything you do is the highlight. Like, his life is like his fighting. He's fucking wild.
So your mentality, you've never had to work on. I mean, obviously you've learned lessons along the way, but you've never had to like sit down and work on this mindset. It's always been something you inherently possessed.
Yeah. I think
It's crazy.
I think
Craziest
people
thing ever.
I think people just complicate things so much. Like, when you can truly understand that there is things you can't control, but it's not everything. You can only control what's inside of you. You know, you can only control how you perceive things, how you react to things.
The
And
work you put in.
The work, obviously the preparation.
Yeah.
But it's I mean, there's so much, you know, and I guess I always knew that something was coming, because no matter how far off the road, you know, like, I've made mistakes. You know, I was never thank God I was never an alcoholic, and never, but I could say I was probably a drug addict at, you know, one time in my life. And
What drugs?
I don't know. I have never told my parents about this, so I don't know.
You don't have to.
All of them. But it's and I know this is gonna sound stupid, but so I went to school for human services. I wanted to help people. A big part of that is helping people come off drugs, and I lost over a handful of friends, really close friends from drugs. Where I come from, we're not far from Mexico, and we had the best. We had the best shit coming right across the border before it ever got cut up, and it was my life, you know, where I'm from is very boring. And so, like, you chase, again, you know, we have it so good in this country. We're always trying to create chaos in order to feel something. And I guess that's what I was probably doing. And in college is when I really, you know, I was like, if I'm going to help people come off of drugs, then how can I ever even try to understand if I don't know what they're chasing? And so that was a part of it. And also a part was, it felt good, you know? And so, you know, once I did certain things, I knew what people were chasing. But then I always knew that something was bigger for me and better for me, and I had something to do. And so that was always, it was never a crutch for me. I was always like, that was awesome. You know, I'm not doing it again.
What is it in your head that where you always knew that you had something bigger?
Well, probably my faith. I mean, I've been, my parents, the best thing they ever did for me was make me go to church every single Sunday and create a relationship with God through the word of Jesus Christ, and just trying to live up to those expectations. I knew, not that I was going to be a champion or anything, I just knew that I couldn't take the easy way out. You know, when you're on drugs or when you're living a lifestyle like that, then nobody expects anything from you. Nobody wants anything from you. And that's an easy way to live. You know, those,
Right.
there's no pressure.
No expectations.
No expectations, no pressure. And I mean, it really is, I can understand how you can let that overcome the passion to live, you know? And I don't know, I just think the passion to live because of my faith has never outweighed my desire to feel good.
I want to talk about the shift that you made in your career from being the most exciting guy in the world, wanting to be the most exciting guy in the world, being happy with performing to the best of your ability, whether you win or lose, to wanting to get the belt? What started that decision?
It's weird because I don't remember a time or a day where I made a change other than I'm not going to get hit. You know, in the Dustin Poirier fight and the Eddie Alvarez fight, I absolutely almost broke them. And it was no different than any of my other fights. Nobody had just ever, same with Ilya, you know, like nobody had ever got past it. Nobody had ever been able to withstand the ferocity of my actions for 2 or 3 rounds. And then those guys did. And I was like, what happened? You know, and ultimately I put myself in a position and I got hit with a shot that took me out of the fight. And so after those fights, I was like, I have to not take these shots. And that was ultimately all I can say that I changed mentally is I don't want to get hit. I used to never care about getting hit because it's like, it doesn't hurt. Nothing hurts in there. You don't feel nothing. It's never hurt. And so that was really just the mindset. I was like, I just need to not let them get me in a predicament where I'm not able to, where they have to stop the fight.
So the shift,
but he probably from the outside source.
Yeah, it's definitely there was a shift, and it wasn't just like an instant shift. It was the 2 losses in a row with Eddie and Poirier, where he's like, I'm winning these fights, and I need to be able to get to the distance. And I was like, all right, we got to become a spot fighter because you just drown people, and what's happening is you're making mistakes. We threw a low kick against Poirier, and he got caught because he based back lazy with his shoulders above his hips. So I was like, all right, let's be sharp. Let's fight in spots. Then he goes on a 3-fight win streak where he's finding the right spots and putting people out from Vic to Barbosa into Cowboy Cerrone. And that's where he's like, and then I sat down with him and I was like, do you want to be a champion? And I was like, this is how you have to fight to be a champion, is be smart. And he never said he didn't want to be the most exciting fighter anymore. He would tell me after fights, he's like, I'm not even trying to fight excited, but look at me. And it's it's so amazing. Like, it's in him. It's just how do we get you to sprint 50 yards, pull back for 100 yards and jog, and then sprint for 50 yards and like be able to know your red line. Don't cross over that red line. Don't hold red line.
Well, that is again the experience that you found in wars. It was so critical in that White House
he could do
fight.
it. But we don't want to make mistakes.
And it is. I think it's crazy. I think again the fact that they said that he had outstruck me in the first round, 39-32 or something.
You landed some hard jabs in that first round.
Yours were devastating. He might have touched and skipped on.
But I'm talking about the perception.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm getting hit. It looks like it's but I mean, I don't have special skin. I am able to see punches. And
roll with them.
And roll with punches. If you watch my fights frame by frame, I'm not getting hit for the most part.
You're moving with the punches.
Yeah. Be like water. Like I'm constantly, and intuitively making these calculations.
That's the scoring that when you see that, I don't know who's counting that, but that's like amateur boxing. Amateur boxing, if the white glove touches you in the face, even if it's not a clean blow, that's considered, that's how you judge.
Yes.
And that's where, Justin, I think, where you look at it from a point system, you can't just look at the screen, and that's why judges can't look at a screen and go, oh, this guy landed more, this is who won.
Right.
You had the damaging blows. I think everybody knows that. Like, I get it. Like, I see the way you roll a shot. I see the way that you fade off and allow the shot not to go through your skull and deflect it. It still gets touched to you, so it's considered that they landed that shot. But the damage is like what you do to people by the way that you hip through, that you drive through people is so different. Like Justin hits. Unlike I still think to this day we got to ask the UFC, but they did a test on him to see who has the hardest bones in the UFC. He had the hardest bones. Dude, he kicks me, and I'm just like, dude, I'm so glad. I feel so bad for Luke Cadillo.
He don't let me kick him anymore.
God, dude, Luke Cadillo just takes
let me tell you
he
something
has his
about
pad
Luke.
on. He has his pad on. I kick him, and his nuts swell up.
Dude, I get blue balls, bro.
And so
dude,
I can't kick him
There's a
no
nerve
more.
on the inside of your leg. I talked to a doctor about it because I'm like, bro, like he kicks people and they bruise on the inside of their leg. And it's because the shock through, but there's a nerve on the inside of the leg. I'd go home and I'd tell my wife, I'm like, babe, I got fucking blue balls. And she's like, from who? And I'm like, Justin. She looks at me like, the fuck you got blue balls from Justin for?
One of the things you were doing early in your career that I always thought was so wild was you were leg kicking people from a collar tie. Like you were a leg kick, and
Base
I
him
was
down.
like, oh my goodness!
Make
I'm
him
like,
put weight
how
on
come
it.
no one's doing that? Like you were one of the only guys that I saw that was doing that. That was from the clinch, was leg kicking. You've got some fucking flexible hips, man.
Dude.
Because the way you were able to do that from like right in tight like this, and not just
You pull
throw
him
the
to it.
leg out,
You
you're
pull.
whipping into
Yeah,
it.
he pulls them to their lead leg, so he's making a base on that knee, and then it's just like you got to stump in the ground, and you're just trying to bend that tree.
Yeah.
You know, and man, he's very good at that.
Let me tell you something about Luke, because I got into the octagon right after you won, and Luke and I looked at each other. He was like, "Ah!"
The best, dude.
He's like, dude, he's like, Joe was so pumped. He hugged me so hard.
He was so
Dude,
happy.
he's
He
the
was.
best.
It was
You know, he
amazing because seeing all those videos and knowing he's in camp with you all the time and knowing how much he loves
the
you,
best. I freaking
watching
love
the happiness that he had
Yeah.
when you won was fucking incredible.
No, Luke is one of my really, really good friends. He
Pukes
used-
every time before a
even
fight. Every time,
Before
dude.
Trevor was in my corner, Luke cornered me. He used to go to Arizona with me. I had no coaches. I would just do it in between, in between wrestling seasons. And yeah, he would go down there with me and just wrap my hands, and he would just be there.
Wow.
He's amazing. One of
What
the
a-
best human beings
what
on
a
earth,
ride.
dude.
Yeah, I love that man.
Hey,
What
did
a
you tell him
ride.
about the Sunday? So the Sunday before the fight.
Oh fuck!
So there was one time, I think it was in
shit. That
the
shit was
Cowboy fight where you were pummeling with Ben, and he'd finish with a low kick on Ben every time, and I'm like, stop kicking your coach. And he looks at me, he's like, Trevor, he used to drag me back on the mats. He's like,
He
I'm
used
gonna
to
kick. I was like, all right,
fuck
cool.
me up.
You
I
guys
was
got
like,
that?
just give me this
Dude,
give me this
so-
opportunity to beat his ass.
So we go golfing, Joe, and I'm
Sunday
out.
we go golfing. The Sunday before the fight, we get there Saturday. We go golfing Sunday, and it's a Sunday. We never work out on Sundays. And Luke and Ben got fucking pickled
On the golf course.
They each had like 3 very, very, very stiff Bloody Marys. Luke bought like 12 beers
Dude,
because
it was
we
the
got
best.
there and they're like, "Hey, everything's on the president," and he's like, "Fuck yeah, I've never heard that before. Everything's on the president. I'm gonna drink." And so like hole 10 or 11, Trevor's like, "Let's fuck with them. Let's tell them that we're gonna work out later." So
Well,
I'm like,
we're gonna work out, but I'm telling
I
them
didn't-
they're gonna be the workout.
I didn't know we were working out. I had no fuck.
Dude,
I
we're
thought he
fighting on
was
Sunday. We're definitely
I
working
thought he was
out.
fucking with me. We're out there golfing. It's hot as shit. I'm sweating my ass off. I had no idea we were working out that day. And he's like, "Let's fuck with them. Let's tell them that we're gonna work out." I was like, "All right, cool."
So I told him I was going to text him and give the workout because I'll lay out the workout for everybody. And I told Luke he was going to go 3 rounds of sparring, full on sparring, and then Ben's got to go 40 minutes straight, no breaks, just grappling, not wrestling, just grappling.
And they're fucked up.
Dude, and I told Justin, and I was like, all right, let's fuck with him, see how he is. And dude, instantly before I didn't text it, we just started talking about it. So we're on the way home, driving home, and dude, Ben is like, dude, he's like, I'll just take you down. And he's like, I asked him, how many times are you going to take him down? As many as I
Many
want.
times I want.
Dude,
He's like 40 minutes. Let's go
he's at
60
60.
minutes.
So they
Like,
went 20. Dude, you got, 7 submissions on your coach. He drug him back on the mats. It was so funny because I was like, dude, you got to drag him back on the mats because I got to witness this.
It's funny because I got a video.
Dude, it was the funniest
So we
shit
get
ever,
home.
dude.
I go down, take a nap for like 2 hours, and they just stay drinking. Upstairs.
Talking shit
And
while they're drinking,
my
dude.
YouTube guy filmed everything, and they're just talking so much shit how they're gonna fuck me up.
Luke was good, though. Luke was like, he was
Yeah,
trying to stay out
Luke's
of it.
been through it, man.
Luke's like,
Luke
you're really
knows.
going to say that? Like, Luke's
Yeah, Luke's like, "Hey, I ain't saying any of this. Not me, it's him." But they're making a plan how they're gonna team up on me, and so
it's
it's
one of the
funny. Then
funniest
he
things
got
ever,
the
dude.
video there, and I'm beating Ben's ass. Oh, no, actually, I went with Luke first, and
Yeah.
I was fucking him up.
And Luke's punching Ben because Ben won't jump in.
And yeah,
'cause
so
Ben's like,
Ben's like, he's like, "What the fuck, Ben? What the fuck, Ben? Now's the time." And he's
it was
asking
so
for
awesome.
help. I beat his ass, and I did.
we
it
have
to Ben
fun for
too.
sure.
Yeah,
It
it
was
looks
great.
fun.
Great coaches. Our whole team is just, everybody's so dialed in.
Yeah, that whole week is one of my. Every time we go, that whole week is one of my
awesome.
favorite experiences.
You were using the sauna in between workouts as well.
And before.
And
so we were.
Nothing. That shit sucked. I say it was perfect. You say it was perfect. It was not. It was
hard.
detrimental to our
Outside?
performances. Yes.
Yeah.
The humidity was there. I didn't realize it because obviously it's not. It's not something I can worry about right now. But after round 1, I just remember thinking, "Oh fuck, I am so tired right now. How is this possible?" And the amount of fluid I lost was.
Thank God it
I probably
wasn't
lost
hot.
like 15
Yeah, I know.
pounds.
because it was in the 70s.
Dude.
Yeah, 70s with the cool breeze. You know, when you go out there,
Yeah.
what you feel is the cool breeze, but
Just
in
heavy
the,
air, though.
in the fight, man,
Heavy
it was different.
Yeah, I hated the fact that it was going to happen, but I'm glad it did.
Yeah, me too.
I would not change. Again, I think
How could you change
it
it?
affects me. It affects him. You know,
Right.
I
Right.
grew up in the country. He's a city boy. There's no way he's not a city boy. I don't know him personally, but there's no way he's not a city boy. You know, and so as a country boy from the desert in Arizona, like I was hoping that it would be
Hot as fuck.
hot as fuck. Yeah. Like
When he
fucking
sat down on the
being a-
stool, I was like, "Oh God, these outside fights kill me."
Yeah.
You know, he was. Dude,
Yeah,
he
after
was, he
round
was
one,
throwing
they're
so
like,
bad,
dude,
it's
you
so
were
crazy.
shaking.
Dude, he was like trembling. I was like, "Holy shit!"
Well, it is crazy to ask people to defend a world title in a completely alien environment that you never have fights in. We've had how many fights outside? We've had the Abu Dhabi fight in like what was that, 2000 and
That
fucking
yeah.
9 or something like
Yeah,
that.
Poirier
No,
fought.
they didn't. What was the setting? I wasn't there.
It was.
When Adesanya did his famous walkout in like it was covered, but it seemed like the environment was outside
Poirier getting against
in Abu
Khabib.
Dhabi.
So
No,
the
in,
first
in
Abu
Abu
Dhabis
Dhabi,
were they
In Abu
outside?
Dhabi.
Well, we did one in Abu Dhabi when BJ
the big arena.
lost to Frankie Edgar. That was outside in Abu Dhabi. And that was when Anderson Silva fought Damian Maia.
Is that
was
with the
outside.
Ferrari building?
The Ferrari building was there, but I don't know if it was in
Yeah.
the same place.
Did they have a fight in the Ferrari building?
I think they did,
Yeah.
but I wasn't there for
But-
that one. I only went to one of the Abu Dhabi fights.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago.
Remember we were
I
talking
would
to
say
the dude in
within the
Morocco.
last 7 years.
Remember
Okay.
the dude in Morocco said after the first round he was done. He was just trying to survive. He said it was so hot. Remember?
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I remember it being
Yeah.
over there, and then once you realize the climate over there and the humidity, it's like
Do you remember
doesn't fucking matter.
Bodog? Remember Bodog
Yep,
fights?
Bodog fights, yep.
They had a fight outside in the sun
Yeah.
on the beach.
Caesar Palace in Vegas. Remember Caesar's Palace? The boxing. We got to fight there. Verno Phillips
When
against
I fought for World
Kasi
Series-
Muma.
Yeah, that's
outside.
right. They used to always do
Caesar
it outside.
Palace.
World Series of Fighting around that NASCAR event.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That wasn't
Duran
outside.
versus
That wasn't
Hearns.
outside, no.
Duran versus Hearns
Yeah,
was outside.
they were great. Yeah,
yeah, that's true. That's right.
At
least Vegas is dry.
yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah.
Arizona, Vegas,
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah, humidity was what I was training for with him was heat stroke, like dealing with it where you can't breathe. It's heavy air, like.
So were you putting water on the rocks in the
Oh,
sauna as
absolutely.
well? And,
Absolutely,
And
yeah.
so what was
And
the?
we trained in a hotter gym. I'd turn the temperature up in the gyms just so he's getting used to dealing with a little bit more heat stroke.
We would spike my heart rate, and then I would go in the sauna 15 minutes, and I would come out and do
then we train.
8 to 10 rounds.
It was great. I'm so
Smart.
glad we did it.
Very smart. Very smart. Because that environment is, it's so completely different. I just. Ultimately, I think the best way to fight is obviously the way you usually fight.
Yeah,
in a controlled
controlled.
environment.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
It was
but
cool though, Joe. You know
it
why?
was so cool.
So we went and did a rehearsal, okay? And I'm like, why are we rehearsing a walkthrough? Like, if this ain't a freaking wedding. Like, just tell us
Right.
where to go. The camera guys are always like, all right, your mark.
Yeah,
Here's
I'm just
5,
following the
4,
camera.
3. So why are we doing this? And then we go there and we get stuck in this locker room for 2 hours
Hour and a half.
because of rain. And thank God that happened because then I started to go, because it's all unexpected. And how Iliad said, hey, I'm a visualizer. I can't visualize this arena. And I visualize a lot too. So I was like, I felt the exact same thing when he said that. And that's when I knew, hey, these are going to be some huge unknowns. And I had told him that night because the rain was coming. Like, it was crazy how the storm split around because it was all bright red. I was like, this is thunderstorms. This
Yeah.
ain't just. And
they were talking about pushing the fight to 10:30 p.m.
we had planned
The
on fighting at
start
like
of the night.
Yeah, 2 in the morning.
I
Was what
started
I was planning
staying
on.
up till like 3 a.m. after the rehearsal. I was like, it could be
Yeah.
3 a.m. when we fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to just start staying up.
But that's what was cool. Like the walkout, like having the soldiers, like just walking through the soldiers. There was that. We weren't able to take any of this in, Joe, and I can't really speak for him. I know where
couldn't.
his mind's up. I couldn't, from a coach's standpoint. I was nervous as fuck because you don't know. There's no pattern I could take on right now and kind of put myself and breathe to it. It was very unique, and at the end, I couldn't even really smile. It was just like, dude, I'm just like blown away. Now I can kind of just look around slowly and just try to take in everything because it was very, very hard to go through that scenario with the pressure of us fighting on this stage at the White House. We're the Americans. We're a 6-1 underdog. That gets to you. That when you hear that over and over and over and over, it's you think,
connected
here you go.
your phone.
Oh, dude, you
dragged
caught
your
one.
phone.
You caught a marlin. But having
Take a left.
just that scenario was so unique. And then once it was over, then it was like, now I get to enjoy the White House and just being here in this
Yeah, look at
great
that scene.
environment.
There you can see it. What is he reading there? Is that the Declaration of
Yeah.
Independence?
Yep. So we weren't in the room with him right there. We through the rehearsal. Yeah.
How crazy
we got
is that?
To take a look. It's crazy.
He's in the Oval Office, stepping out.
And then all the soldiers walking through, so cool. Like having the two guys next to him.
And a lot of people complained about this happening at the White House. But you don't think this is cool?
This is,
Like,
dude, it's
how
fighting.
how could you not like this?
This is
how
fighting.
could anyone not? This shouldn't be taking place at the White House. Shut the fuck up.
Dude, life is a
This-
fight. World is a fight.
This is
Like,
incredible to watch.
inspirational.
It's a wild thing to watch. By the way, how much gold did Trump put on those
Dude,
walls?
it's
Look, he's got
crazy,
gold
dude.
everywhere. Look at these fucking gold designs.
When we were at the Oval Office, first thing I said is I was like, this thing is small as hell. Like when I see it on
Right.
pictures, it like seems so big, and I was like, but the gold pieces on the wall is the first thing I was like, they dust that shit every day because, dude, it was so clean.
Well, he put that up there.
Really?
None of that was there. None of that was there. He was explaining it to me. There was no gold. I wanted to have gold. He's got a gold cherub, like a solid gold cherub that's above like one of the doors. He goes, if Putin comes, hopefully it doesn't fall on his head. It's like he's got gold everywhere. It's all him. He redesigned a bunch of the things in there. You know, he's a builder, right?
yeah.
So that's why he wanted to do the ballroom. That's why he wanted to keep it, you know. He likes everything in gold. He's a gold guy.
What was that, Austin Powers?
Bro, we were just
love
watching
gold.
you look at the Declaration of Independence before you walked out, which is also wild. Like, this is never going to happen again. This is more historic than Rumble in the Jungle, more historic than, I mean, think about all the great fights that we've all watched as kids that were like, remember that? This tops everything because of the scene, because of the fact that not only is it at the White House, but the American who's a 6-1 on some books underdog pulls it off in spectacular fashion. And just the seesaw of the fight,
The back
too.
and forth.
The
That's
back
what
and
made
forth
it.
of the fight was fucking huge because the
it's huge.
second round was crazy. It was like,
Yeah.
oh no, he's
And
gonna
letting it go on
Yeah.
again when so our corner, all the coaches were like, dude, they're gonna stop it. And I was said out loud, I was like, please let it go on. And I just wanted to finish like a
definitive ending.
dude, because that would have been a point where it's like, especially with him going, hey, I want to go and continue, and then we have Goddard come out and say,
Thank
hey, you are.
God for Mark Goddard.
Yeah.
Okay, because if it wasn't for Mark Goddard, if another less
He
experienced
wanted out.
referee, you think he did?
He wanted out.
Yeah.
You know for a fact you do not ever as a fighter say I cannot see. It's over.
Right.
And he was counting on that. He said he had already stated it. He didn't need to say it again. He did not think they were. I don't think he thought they were going to.
So
send him
you
back
think
out there.
that he called Goddard a turkey internally? He was like, when he said, "Oh, you're going to
No,
go fight," he was
I
like,
mean,
"Hey, I was playing
in that
though."
moment, he just like I've done. You know, I've tried, and it might have been like the little devil on his shoulder trying to get him out, and then he reevaluated and rethunk it and understood that he had to keep fighting.
Did you say thunk?
Thunk it.
Rethunk it.
Dude,
that's a-
But I
Good
think
deal.
I mean,
Really? That's a real word?
I stopped
No.
him. I stopped him. I stopped.
I was like, oh, shit.
I stopped him twice. I stopped him twice that
Right.
night. There's no doubt about it.
That's
I loved it.
interesting.
I
Yeah.
loved it.
This episode is brought to you by OnX Off-Road. Ever wonder how to reach these epic mountain lakes? They're tucked away, dispersed campsites. With OnX Off-Road, you'll find legal open trails around you and even better, guided trails mapped by real off-roaders. Each one includes photos, terrain descriptions, and difficulty ratings, so you'll know if your vehicle's capable before you go. Unlike other apps, OnX gives you turn-by-turn directions on the trail, and their new dispersed camping layer shows where you can legally set up camp. You'll also get private land boundaries, public land overlays, and the ability to download maps for offline use so that you're never guessing, even when you're off the grid. It's a powerful tool built for serious off-roaders. Try OnX Off-Road for 50% off. Go to onxmaps.com/Joe Rogan. Well, it was a big factor that Goddard let it go on because then we got to see that epic fourth round, which is fucking crazy, which was just in the end when you landed that knee to the body, that was like the final.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
That was it.
And
That
then the
knee to the body
punches
was
right where he
nasty.
landed that heavy knee that he just starts chopping it where he got the elbow in.
Yeah, and then he has to quit on his stool. And if Goddard had just given to that referee or that judge's or the doctor's rather desires, here it is.
I love how you punch right here, right on the spot.
Yeah, I
Oh,
saw.
right there. Yeah. Oh, right where I just lay. Oh,
Yeah, he did not like that, and that was the end. Crazy fight. I mean,
It's crazy how different. So again, being a fan of the sport, I've got to watch. I would have usually watched this from, and yeah, it would have been the most fucking incredible thing ever. Being the fighter, you're really not appreciating any of that because you're so
You're in the
locked
moment.
into. It's like golfing. Like you don't know, but golfing is like certain swing thoughts, you know, and nothing else can come in, nothing can creep in. And so me looking at the Declaration of Independence, I was looking at it, but I didn't take it in as this being the Declaration. I was just sitting there, I was like, okay, gotta reset his feet, gotta control, gotta move left, can't get against the fence, you know, and then those are the thoughts I'm having through the whole walkout. And so I'm really not taking any of it in as the show or as the theatrics of it.
Of course not.
Watching it in hindsight, obviously, it's fucking awesome.
There was something special about you warming up with the American flag around your shoulder, too. We were watching that. There was something special about watching you shadow box before all this with the American flag on. I was like, if he wins, good Lord. If he wins tonight, it's going to be fucking insane. And it was. Is the feeling of like joy throughout the building, throughout the grounds, like the happiness that everybody had seen, had been there to see such an incredible event and such an amazing cap to that event with your fight. It was just nuts.
It felt like a whole arena to me. It was crazy for the amount of people that you could see.
And here it is to backflip in front of the fucking White House. Dude, he
flagpole.
Hey, that's gonna be a sick.
Dude, you flagpole.
That's a sick picture. I rolled out of it.
It was hey, tell me what was it? Tell me what'd you use? Newton's law?
Newton's first law. Object in motion needs to stay. I just stayed in motion.
Stay in motion.
That's all it is.
Look at the size of that fucking crowd that was outside.
So you couldn't see this crowd. Like I couldn't see this crowd, but
you know what?
having
Though
the environment,
you could hear them and you could feel them,
dude.
You could feel
Crazy.
the energy. I mean, even though there was only 4,000 people, did not feel like 4,000 people. It felt like 100,000 people because all those people were behind us. You know, it was different.
How many people were in that place?
85,000 plus. Yeah.
It happened so fast.
The size of the group outside was insane.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're watching on these giant screens and freaking out.
Like a concert.
Yeah.
When we were at the weigh-ins, it was like, dude, that's what I picture like Woodstock being like. Dude, I looked and I could not see the end of the people.
Yeah. It was
crazy.
nuts. The weigh-ins were nuts. When we first walked out, I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. But it just shows how hyped people were for this event. You know, I mean, it was an incredible event. I mean, the
really
UFC production team, they just knocked it out of the park. And then more importantly, you knocked it out of the park.
It could not have gone
the
better.
Cap. It couldn't have gone better. And the most important thing was that you did have to overcome, that we did see a real back and forth. And we did see the skills that led people to believe that this guy is the number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world. I mean, his fucking boxing is elite.
It
is slick.
sharpshooter. And dude,
But, I mean, my coach is a fucking genius. I mean, when it comes to, like, again, it's really hard to... you always sound right in hindsight, but the strategy we had was so perfect to fight a guy like that. I mean, I think if you ask him right now which way was Justin moving, he's going to think I was moving right the whole time because my head is so heavy and I lean over to that side. But I was moving left the entire time. And he's so pointed that, you know, he's powerful here, but when you put him here, like, nobody can push and sprint. Like, he's not ever going to take off sprinting that way as fast as he can. He's going to have to gather and reset and then point and then go. And I constantly kept readjusting him, and it was so subtle. And that's what fighting is subtle movements. But I mean, his game plan was and then his game plan, his mind, my ability, but really it's my athletic ability. Like, if people don't understand how athletic I am, and I think that is what surprises every opponent I've ever fought, is how, you know, herky-jerky, twitchy, how explosive, and how athletic I am. And I think that's the biggest asset that I have.
Why do you think anybody be surprised by that at this stage? Why do you think they're surprised?
Because it doesn't look like that.
no, Justin, I think you're looking into the Patty fight. I feel like the Patty fight, you because a lot of people are like, oh, you look older, you look this, because the way we fought, like our game plan in the Patty fight.
How sweet is that now? I mean, if you watch the Patty fight, you would only expect punches coming from here.
That's
all I threw.
Because he would pull.
And
with his
I had
body,
to like wrangle him in.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, no shot
like
came
palm
here.
strikes. Like, we need to palm strike him. We need to keep him inside of our loop And if you're throwing straight shots at Patty, Patty will disengage very, very long with his upper body. So he was throwing wild shots and then long uppercuts. Like stay on the outside when you're throwing the uppercuts because Patty's got very good knees coming in. So we can't get too deep with the head. Very simple plan, but it was like make it chaotic. As most chaotic as you could be to be able to do that. Because Patty, his blitzing was very fast. He's a very good blitzer. He'll blitz past you and almost like running type of punches like old Vitor Belfort. But this fight is a lot different where it's now elbows in. We have to be tight in these types of positions, and we need to step to his center and get on his back foot line or outside of his back foot line. And that was like a key factor to this one is because Ilya is very front heavy and will bounce back and forth. So once he goes to this angle, we need to attack the rear shoulder. And once he starts to reset, now we're going to be able to jab. And stick the jab at the rear shoulder where your jab was landing. There's my favorite part is the jab wasn't landing here where Ilya's got a very good slide. We're jabbing outside, so you're not doing inside jab coming under. You're jabbing from outside your shoulder, which is pushing him on his rear foot. And then once we started to pressure, my favorite part is the jab, pause, right hand. His left foot, Justin's left foot, when we go, has to be outside his rear foot, like right there. He opened his lead foot and he got his foot outside, and that's also so in case the right hand counter.
That was a giant moment in the fight when he landed that right hand.
Dude, the sound of it was crazy.
I wanted to sub his ass.
Boom. Yep.
Oh, that was such a hard shot.
Do that one more time, Jamie, and watch his lead foot after the jab. Now watch his left foot after the jab, outside the rear foot. Boom. And that because he's got a high shoulder. And if I'm throwing a right hand down this point, if you were looking at me, Joe, if I'm here. If he gets his foot out, now the shot is coming from here. So we were able to put him on the back foot and find that over. Because Ilya's got a very good shoulder tuck.
He also dropped that right hand down.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And it was such a giant moment in the fight.
Like, look where I started. I started with my back to us, and look how I left.
But if you go out to the left, backwards, that's where Ilya, to me, is the best. How we stop Volk, where he'll throw at you, and then you go, and then he readjusts his lead shoulder almost to a southpaw. Super dangerous there. That was one thing we talk about. We cannot go backwards to the left because that's where we get square. And Ilya, dude, he's very front heavy, so he will attack you quick, and he gets there fast.
Well, if he can recover from this, it's going to be a big lesson lesson learned. And, I wonder if he'll still have those celebration dinners the night before.
There's no way.
He better not, dude. His team. That's up to his coaches, to be honest with you.
It's amazing. Hubris is an amazing thing. Like people love that kind of confidence. They love that belief in themselves. And when someone pulls it off, people were talking for days about the Oliveira fight. He celebrated the night before. Isn't that crazy?
And it worked that time, and it played out great for him.
But the lack of experience being the nail. So much experience being the hammer.
It's just
and
the
also,
expectations. He never thought he would have to be here.
But you keep saying, I wanted to go back to this thing that you said, that people don't think you're athletic. And I don't agree with that. I don't understand why you think that.
I mean,
and maybe he watches the Michael Johnson fight.
Even
and
when
doesn't think you're athletic.
I got to college, my freshman year of college, and I did a cartwheel to a backflip, and one guy was like, I would have never fucking guessed you could do some shit like that. Like, I just don't understand. If you look at me, I don't look like an athlete, but...
Dude, you won a Ferrari.
No, I know I'm athletic. I know how athletic I am. I just think the perception...
No. Your perception's crazy. Listen, you look like an athlete. What the fuck are you talking about?
Dude, he sent me this picture when I first met him. He went up to do a clinic with his coach up in Granby with Ben Charrington, and he sends me this video out of nowhere. I open it up, and he's got a soccer ball, and he's in this auditorium with the pads down on the ground, and he's got his phone set up on the pads that are against the wall. He throws a soccer ball up in the air, and he does one of those bicycle kicks. He played just like 1 or 2 years of soccer.
Gainer.
He did a bicycle kick, landed on his feet, and the ball knocked the phone off the freaking thing, dude. He hit the freaking phone. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I was like, bro, you are nuts. This guy snowboarding when we had snowboard, because I rode professional when I was younger. Got taken out of high school for it. And this dude, he would catch things so fast, and his tumbling. There was one time we were watching him, and he was in moguls, and moguls suck on a snowboard. He does this 360. catches his edge, falls to his back and bounces off one of the moguls to a backflip right back into the moguls. And dude, these people on the side thought he meant to do that shit. They were like, dude. I was like, bro, his tumbling skills, dude, you're freaking nuts. You are an athlete. I think everybody knows you're an athlete.
Well, you're not built like Paulo Costa, if that's what you mean.
Yeah,
It's like you're not. There's guys that have less body fat than you, and guys that have more prominent muscles than you, but nobody looks at you fighting and doesn't think you're athletic. That's crazy.
I think it's the experts after the Patty fight saying, "Oh, he looks sloppy," and some fights got to be sloppy.
Those people are retarded.
Yeah.
That fight looked like chaos. Looked like you were going to press him, and you. It also looked like you were kind of disdainful of his ability to hurt you.
There you go.
No,
you know exactly.
Yeah, once I didn't respect his power, I was like, I'm fucking walking through.
Yeah, and that's what it looked like. It looked like you were just trying to make it as chaotic as possible.
You make it sound like you had like a water boy, like someone was like, "What? The water sucks."
Yeah.
And he's like, making the noises, dude.
No,
you don't look.
But that's also probably a good thing that you think about yourself that way. Because it forces you to rise above and beyond anybody's expectations of you. And I think one of the things about this fight that makes it so important is because Ilya was so dangerous, you had to get like deep in the zone. You couldn't have a moment like the Max fight.
The Max fight got me here. Without that, I would have never been as hungry. I said it was going to happen, and it didn't happen. Then it happened, and it's like, okay. Now I can never let my parents see me like that again. That was a driving factor. Like I can never let my mom. I remember getting knocked out. I don't remember getting knocked out. I got knocked out. I don't remember anything. I don't remember him getting his hand raised, and it had to have been 40 minutes to an hour. And then my first recollection is being in the ambulance and seeing my mom's face.
Can I tell you that? Can I tell that story?
Yeah. Tell me what I did because I still don't know.
So we're in the ambulance, okay, and.
Well, you never know too. You were there too.
I was sitting
in there when I
with you.
came back.
Your mom's standing outside the back doors, and we're waiting for the driver. There's a medic in there with us, but he's good. But he keeps asking the same question over and over.
And I still don't remember any of this.
And I'm worried about everybody's parents are different on how they react. And his mom was just cool. Just like I was so impressed. I was so impressed with her just spirit of seeing that happen. But Justin's laying there, and he's like. He's cool in everything he does. So he's got like this cool lay, he's just got stopped, and he's laying there, and he's like, he'll look at me, and he gets like his head. He's like, I got knocked out, and I was like, yeah.
It's like 40. This is like 40
minutes. He's like,
what
later.
round?
What round? And I said, last second of the fight, and he goes, good for him, dude. Then dude, I'm telling you, like 2 minutes would go by, and we'd just be having a normal conversation, and he'd look at me. I get knocked out, and I was like, yep. Dude, it happened over and over and over.
You've had that happen with fighters.
Yes,
right?
but him saying, good for him. The way he said it every time that he came back to it, that's the type of person Justin is. Like, if he loses in competition, the better man won that night. And that, to me, is something that stands out to me.
That's character.
Character of him saying when he does it, that's subconscious traits that you have.
That's character is also the character that allows you to reach your full potential.
Absolutely.
Because you're not being held back by any bullshit ego things.
It's not fake.
Because there's a lot of people that are held back. As good as they are, they don't ever reach their full potential because they have some bullshit ego problems.
Absolutely. They care of what everybody thinks.
And that in that situation, losing that fight in the last second of the last round and having that reaction, that is the truest test of character that a man is ever going to go through.
Yeah.
That is as true a test of character ever in front of the whole world.
What I remember first is seeing my mom's face, though. I saw her face, and I saw no concern. She was worried about me, but she was not concerned.
She wasn't freaked out.
No, she wasn't freaked out at all. I was like, and that's when I never reset and asked if I had got knocked out again after that moment. I don't think.
No. Once it happened for probably, I'd say you probably asked it 6 or 7 times, and then once then we were cool for probably 5 minutes before we went to the hospital. Then you were totally cool. The cool part about this, Joe, is those are some of my, and it sucks because he's taking a shot like this, but me as a coach and as someone that just loves fighting and loves the inspiration and what these guys do is. Those are my proudest moments. Winning a fight like this, it was proud. And take it in, you're going, wow, this is a cool spot to be in, and you have to be grateful for it. But there's times where I'm caught smiling when my fighters are down, like when Kamaru got kicked, And I stood next to him with the biggest smile just because I'm like, dude, you went out on your shield. You were looking so good. And this is the way you stand up. Again, so important to me. Justin Salas one time with Tim Means. It was one of my proudest moments just to see his subconscious. Like, I love the mindset of
hard
people.
knee.
Dude, Tim Means hits him with a knee. And he fights through it a little bit and takes another knee, and he goes down, and he's on the ground, and his right leg is still, like, moving. And he's, like, still punching, and he's out. And I'm like, dude, that's a fighting spirit. Like, there is no quitting. Like, you're fighting through being knocked out. And subconsciously, he's still in the fight, and his body is still reacting that way instead of shelling up and being like, I just got rocked. I'm going to shell up. I could not wait to get in the octagon, and they're, like, not trying to let me in. I'm like, let me just get over to him and sit next to him and put some ice on the back. When we stop guys, I'm always over to the other opponent first. To me, that's the coolest part is being able to see someone go out there and do their best and then to watch them come back. And that's why I'm very excited to kind of see what happens with Ilya. This is going to be a hard one to overcome, but I hope he does because he's that talented. If he takes the right lessons, that's going to be a super inspirational thing to overcome. It's going to be hard, but I sure hope we get to witness that.
I wonder if he's going to stay at 155. There are big guys at 155, and he wasn't that big for 45. You know, when you think about weight cutting in the modern era, like you're considerably bigger than him. When you guys were standing next to each other, I'm like, there's a big difference.
I've also really focused on getting bigger last 3 or 4 fights.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
You were 83 in a patty
the
fight.
The night of weight, I was 83.
183 in a patty fight, so he was big.
I touched 80s this fight. We waited on Saturday at 11. Saturday when I went to bed, I think I was 184.
Wow.
And then I think when I woke up, I was like 176. That's how much water we're flowing. It's crazy. Our bodies are crazy.
Right, especially because all the weight cutting.
But I think when I got there, I was pissing so much. I was actually too hydrated for the drug test, so I had to piss three times. I couldn't drink water.
You were too hydrated for a drug test? How's that work?
Yeah, so if the piss is too diluted, then they make you do it again.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why, doing it after a fight.
Like
they used to do it after the fights all the time.
Test.
But your adrenaline's going, so you don't pee. So it takes a long time. It's like we've sat in locker rooms for hours waiting for the piss test. But when you're doing it after like rehydration, that's a shitty thing because these guys have to hydrate. Everybody's fucking taking as much fluids as they can, so that makes it tough. But with the weight cutting piece, with him going back down, I agree with you. I think Ilya is a smaller body, but he's also a big advantage for Ilya is speed. And when you go up in weight, that speed is a huge factor. If you see a lot of guys go up, like with Max kept his speed when he came up. When he went back down, I think everybody was like, "Oh, he beat Max. He beat a drained Max."
Yeah, I think that weight cut down to 45 for him was brutal.
And this is where, from like a coaching standpoint, if it is hard for you to make it at that weight, I care about the longevity of a person. And I've seen guys get dropped with jabs because of bad weight cuts.
Yes,
and that going back down and that's to me the scariest part in this fight game.
Well, I think there's 2 things we have to change in the fight game. One of them is weight cutting, and 2 of them is your gloves. You gotta bring your fucking gloves in. Yeah. But the weight cutting thing, don't you think that we need more weight classes? Or I shouldn't say that. I should say, do you think we need more weight classes?
I think there's many ways. I think you're going to have some type of a weight class, and there's different ways to do it. Like maybe you have where you can't go over a certain amount of weight after you make weight, and you weigh in a week out, where you can really recover. But
I think guys are going to do it anyway, and you're just going to have bad performances.
But I think for me, I want nothing to change. I mean, we are grown-ass men and women, and we're making these choices.
Right, but you can make 55 and it's good for your frame. Now imagine
you don't
these guys
understand
that are
how hard
tweeners.
it is for me to make 55.
I'm sure it's hard. No. I'm not thinking it's easy, but you can make it. You've made it over and over and over again. But like, think about guys that are in between.
Yeah,
like
should be a 60 or 65 or like in boxing. Yeah,
70 to 85 is crazy. Yeah. 85 to 205 is bananas. Yeah. And then 205 to 265.
Those weight classes are already watered down, in a way. And so you're just going to water it down more?
So these are my thoughts and my research that I've done that it's I've talked to Dr. D about it, and I want to get some expert, some doctor who can actually talk to me about this, because when I started researching boxing and why is there so many deaths in boxing, what stood out to me was almost every death in boxing in the last 10 to 15 years there's every once in a while it's from a punch, where they get dropped and they don't get up, and they get hemorrhaging. almost all of them are past the 9th round, especially the ones I'm talking about that don't take a punch. They're past the 9th round, and it looks like they start to get tired, and they're just like, hey, I need to take a knee and lay down. A lot of these guys are winning the fight and not even taking a lot of damage. And if we're cutting weight the day before, you're teaching your body to sweat and sweat and sweat. To me, I believe, because I've had a fighter where, Kamal in his last fight, we were cramping so bad, so scary, so freaking scary. Like, I almost
bro,
called that
call
fight.
it off.
Dude,
call it off.
I was within like minutes of calling. I talked to the whole team about it. But if you dehydrate yourself, think of my lips. If they get dehydrated, they crack when I smile. And if you dehydrate your brain, and I had talked to Dr. D, I was like, could that be something if you dehydrate your brain? Would cause something? He's like, absolutely. And then I started to research that. But if you go back and look at all the boxers, and if we can get someone that could do their true research that understands this stuff, that to me is like what scares me about weight cutting, because you're training your body to lose that amount of weight. And when you start to do things in patterns, you just took all the nutrients out of your body. And then you're going hard in a fight like that. And that was like the big thing with the Tony Ferguson fight. That's kind of funny now, but it wasn't funny to me. I didn't give no fucking water for a 5-round fight. That is crazy. And the longer you take your brain to that point of dehydration,
why
that's a
didn't you
scary
give him
thing.
water? You just forgot?
Dude.
Yeah, we were locked in.
This guy don't train with water. So it was like, dude.
Yeah, I don't drink water.
I train
don't drink water in
myself.
practice because everyone's like, you want water? I'm like, water's for pussies. No, I don't want water.
Talk about the mindset.
You don't drink any water in training at all?
No, he'll drink afterwards. Like we did this fight.
They made me this
we did.
fight.
I
Okay,
forced him.
so do you think that
Yeah.
that
Luke
just
is
helps
my
your
water
mental
boy.
Yeah.
No, because it can't, because I'm fucking working right now. I'm locked in. Like, I might not get water one day. I might want water.
Even
and
when
need
you're
water.
doing strength and conditioning, everything?
Nothing. I never drink water during practice.
Wow. So you make sure you're hydrated before you get in there.
And I drink a lot after. And
But once you're in there, you just going.
I
Yeah,
will not drink water.
this fight was different. But yes.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
just me. That's
like
just
you hear about those
me
guys that
being
go
a-
through
being
Ramadan.
an asshole.
Yeah.
Ramadan's nuts. Like, I know Bilal was training with no water and, drinking no water during the day and then training again at nighttime. And, that's got to be so hard. But going through hard training sessions and no water, so you're doing, so there's two things going on. One I would think maybe you could do more work and get more reps and more of this if you're rehydrating. But then the other thing is like, would you? And how much mental toughness are you getting by not
pros
giving
and
yourself
cons.
water,
It's
right?
it's a crutch.
And the mental toughness thing ultimately won you this fight. There is a lot of fucking human beings at the top level of the sport that would have folded in that second round.
You did look the happiest at the Tony Ferguson fight.
never-
That look you gave me
I
when you
never
had the water.
contemplated it. Not once. Not for 1 second did I contemplate
course.
that I was done.
No, I mean that's how
He
you
hit
fight.
me. I was like, oh, fuck. Oh,
Hey,
shit.
did you get to hear him in the corner?
Oh,
Dude, he goes like
yeah,
this.
yeah.
He goes, dude, that was a good body shot. And I was like, yeah, that
Yeah.
was a sweet body shot. Dude, who does that?
I know.
Who sits down is like, dude, the look on his face wasn't like eyebrows like an A-frame cabin.
Well, even after the fight,
You
you were
were like,
talking
dude.
about how skilled he was.
Yeah.
You were talking
Yeah,
about
I
it.
mean, I could go so many different ways with how I react to this fight. I just want it to be known how disrespectful he would have been if he beat me. If he put me to sleep, can you imagine how shitty he would have been? And I mean, it was his
And the world.
persona and the
And the
world. The
world.
world would have been fucking shitting
Like they're doing
on
to
me.
him
I
right
was
now,
fighting
but
for
yours
so
would have been
much.
crazy.
I was fighting for so much that night.
Yeah.
I'm never going to let people. For one, I know how special what I've done is, and it would have taken all of it away with the loss. And I wasn't going to let that happen.
How about the people calling it his loaded gloves? Did you see the picture, the
what is-
image? There's like rocks in his
those
hands.
People are so stupid.
What?
So
People
funny.
are so stupid.
What a compliment.
Have they not watched any of his fights?
Yeah.
People saying I'm juiced, what a compliment. People saying I got bricks in my fucking gloves, what a compliment.
People are
fucking off.
silly.
Dude,
You
it's
can't
crazy.
read the internet. There's always going to be
That's
someone
funny.
saying something.
I know, but again, I got here because I was petty. I read comments.
True.
I read comments.
They fuel you?
They do.
They do. I've talked to him.
Absolutely.
I've told him not to do it because I'm like, bro, this fucks with so many people. Just we had the conversation outside. Like it'll cause your mind to go crazy. And he's like, I love it so much.
David Goggins takes haters and he records them on a loop and then plays it to himself while he runs.
Yeah, I mean that's
crazy.
I don't
Right?
need. I don't need to have it
Different
on.
mindset.
I don't need to have it on video. I know.
Right.
I know what they're saying. I knew what they were saying every fucking day,
Right.
and that's partly why I won.
Well, it's that Teddy Roosevelt quote about the man in the arena.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's like there's always going to be people on the sidelines that are talking
You're
about
never gonna
shit.
make it. It's impossible to
Especially at the level
make.
that you're fighting,
As
Justin.
ambitious as you are, you can never make everybody happy.
No,
That's
Which
why it's hard to
fucking
be a champion.
Which sucks.
The pressure.
It really is detrimental to overall what you're trying to achieve, and it's so hard.
Well, you can't make everybody happy because some people are just not happy. Period. It's not like you being awesome
still
is going to
can
make
want them
them
to be.
happy. Yeah, but some people are not. They're not healthy. They're not mentally healthy. Their brain isn't right. They haven't done the right things in their life, and they see success as being somehow or another. It steals their own personal joy. Other people's success is bad because they compare themselves to other people and they realize that they
And
suck.
I love seeing good things happen for people.
Of
Yeah.
course,
That's
because
why
everybody.
when Max knocked me out, I was like, good for him. Like, I'm fucking imagine what he's feeling right now.
yeah, but because you have given everything you have,
Yeah.
you've truly maximized your potential. You've made mistakes, you've made great decisions, and ultimately you
Yeah.
wound up winning the biggest fight of all time.
No,
And
to exceed-
but that's why you can be happy for other people.
To exceed your expectations from 2017, to exceed his
Yeah.
expectations from 2011, to exceed my own expectations is, I cannot describe how special and how good that makes me feel, in general. That was my goal.
My
was to
expectations
exceed
of you didn't
expectations.
exceed them, man. I always had a feeling that you were going to do some wild shit. And after the Tony Ferguson
You
fight,
couldn't have said I was going to do this.
No one could have freaking said this, dude.
There was a lot of conversations that I had with people that were counting you out. That was like,
Yeah.
I think he can win this fight 100%. I mean, I said it on the podcast. I even said it to Ilya. Like Ilya was saying it was going to be easy.
I've seen that podcast, and he was so wrong so many times.
Yeah.
Not just the whole he has zero chance against Patty. He said something about how I probably sleep during the day more than I do at night because I party too much. And it's like, you don't remember him saying that? He said something about weed, and you're like, I don't care about weed.
Yeah.
But for him to think that that's true is fucking insane.
And you have 5 looses?
That's just
Dude, now he's got one loose, and he's going to have
But
to learn how to deal
I was
with
like,
that.
wow. I was like, wow, what a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
To think that I got here by just being a guy that drinks and has fun all the time. Like, that's fucking crazy. My life is so boring. I don't go to bars. I don't do any of that. I sleep 8 to 10 hours every single night. I was sleeping 10, but it's too much. So now I have to sleep 8. But for this whole week, I was sleeping 12 hours every single night of the fight week.
that's nice.
It was so fucking nice.
That is nice. It's just one of those things. If he wanted to watch you have a YouTube channel. He could watch.
Well,
Or he was-
also
he was-
something to be said about how I knew he was watching. If you go back to my other, we'll always show sparring. We'll always show me hitting mitts. I didn't show myself hitting mitts one time this camp. I didn't show myself sparring one time this camp.
Purposely. Because we were switching up the game plan big
'Cause
time.
he
Like
knew,
the tight
so
punches,
he
high
had
hands.
he had expectations, but none of them were based in reality, and I controlled that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then
So
when I did
smart.
make the comment about his wife, it was in an interview like this where we were just fucking around, and I said it in jest. I didn't. It was 100% true. I was like, he's so fucking annoying. I couldn't imagine being in the same room with him, with his pompous attitude, and you just trying to hang out with the guy, but he's constantly stealing all the thunder, and it's irrational. And it's I would leave him too. If that's my part, that's why I broke up with my girlfriends, is because they were somewhat like that. And so I didn't mean it in a mean way. I would never dig at somebody, and I would never make fun of someone's personal experience. But that was that was just my honest take.
You are the honest guy.
And
ever.
I was joking, but it was true.
You just say what you feel.
I said so many true things to him. I told him that he's going to go to the second round, go to the third round. You're going to be fucked because you're not going to be able to pull yourself out of this. With the way that you're thinking, there's no possible way you can have these expectations, face adversity, and then come out in a positive way. There's no way it could happen. You could dig deep, and you could be even more of a narcissist, and it might work, but you're gonna walk yourself into a situation that is gonna fucking be detrimental to you, and this is detrimental to his psyche, and this is 90% mental.
Well,
and so again, I want to see him. I
we'll
hope good
see
things
how
for him.
he adjusts to the loss, but
We'll see how honest he will be with himself.
The strategy has to change.
Yeah.
You can't just hit the gas like that. And we've seen that with boxers. We've seen that with all kinds of fighters. They just think they can just hit the gas. Well, obviously, you had to make your own adjustments.
Yeah.
You know how he overcame the Max fight?
How?
He adjusted.
Sorry.
Making you guys numbers.
Did you play golf every day for a year? That's how
6 months straight.
Wow.
Every day,
Wow.
dude. This guy got really good.
Obviously,
Dude.
yeah. DC was raving about it. He's like, I've never seen anything like it. He goes, this guy's playing golf like he's been playing for years.
That's crazy.
It's
He's
really
good at everything
really
he
funny.
does.
Well, that's the mindset that's
Very-
coachable. That's a
very
coachable
competitive.
mindset, competitive and also objective. It's the same reason why you think you're not athletic. It's like you could look at yourself in a critical way and then see what adjustments you have to make, where a lot of people are delusional.
Yeah.
And that delusional keeps you from getting good at everything
you
in life.
what you perceive, dude. You got it. Perspective is everything. Like, how are you seeing things? And you always got to see it from the internal, not peaks and valleys like this right here. Like, we come home and even through the airport, we're like, there's no celebration. Like, it is what it is. I mean,
Right.
afterwards, like, peaks,
Isn't that
peaks
crazy?
will
There's
kill
no
you.
celebration at the
And
airport.
then, what we did, someone was buying us drinks. Like, we got there a little bit early.
Should have been a fucking parade.
No, it's,
I know, but I don't want that.
Yeah.
I know.
It's
I know
weird.
you don't.
I don't want
You don't.
that.
Just like he's saying, he's no different after.
But I have to do it because I do need to take advantage. Like, I am the champion. It's crazy. Still can't fathom it. But I am the champion, and I need to be the champion.
But be you.
And be the enjoy being the champion for a little bit.
And you need you to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, there's times to sit back and have bliss where you're like, man, I freaking did it. Like, there's times to really.
Well, that's why
really
I thought that would come
doesn't
natural.
mean you run down fucking yelling out different brands of mayonnaise with no motherfucking clothes on and make bad decisions. You're like, what was that from? Oh, shit, dude, we did fucking 3/5 of fucking vodka.
Are you going to continue fighting?
Right now, I'm planning on it.
Yeah, because you were
again,
talking about
I don't
going
have
out with
again.
that
There's not something natural in me that feels like it's over.
Mm.
So that's all I can say.
Also, after a performance like that,
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously performing
either
the
way,
best.
though.
The best.
Either way.
also capitalize because the financial reward.
Financial
Yeah,
capitalism,
but
absolutely.
I'm in a place where it's like I deserve to be compensated for what I have done,
100%.
not for what I'm going to do, or I shouldn't have to fight next to be UFC 300, UFC 324, and now this. Those are the biggest stages that the UFC needed somebody to do something phenomenal, and they picked me every single time, and I delivered. I wasn't the main event of UFC 300, but co-main event still stole the show, even though I lost. And so I think I need to be compensated for what I've done. That's where I'm at.
So you're
But
talking
that's
about in
also,
the future for like a next fight?
like,
Yeah, renegotiate.
no. I'm not talking about for the next fight. I'm talking about the UFC should make a company and give me equity in that company, and so I can build passive income like that. Like, I'm not saying that's what.
Have you talked to them about something?
No,
like that?
no. I would. I've never asked. Luckily, I have a personal assistant now, so she asks for things for me. But I've never been the guy that asks for things. I wish people that were opposite of me that ask for things and get all kinds of things. I wish I was given those things without asking, because obviously people know that it's appreciated and I like it. But I'm not ever gonna I'm not taking this truck from fucking Armin. There's absolutely no way I would take a truck. He never shook my hand.
Oh, this is Armin Sarukian. We should explain that. So Armin Sarukian, he he bet $1 million on Justin,
his friend.
and won. He won like 5-3, I believe.
5-7.
5-7?
Is what I heard.
Yeah. So he
5-7.
says he's gonna buy me a truck, but I mean, I would
What
never.
kind of truck?
Wow, now I just saw yours.
Get a Raptor.
I have a Shelby. I
fucking
have a
Hemi.
Shelby Raptor.
Those are pretty
Baja,
dope. Those
but
are dope.
I think now that I've seen your truck, that will be my next truck.
Also, it has USA on the side.
Yeah.
You see the rap?
I love
So
the
that's
whole thing.
that. You didn't do that rap, dude.
Hennessy
That
does
is
that
sweet,
rap.
dude.
Hennessy's the
No,
shit.
I want that
Yeah.
truck.
Oh, you need that truck.
Yeah.
Tell Armin to buy you that fucking truck.
No, I'm not taking the truck from him.
What the fuck? If I was Armin, I would force it down your throat. I would deliver it to your house and give you a hug.
No way.
You want him $5,700,000.
Then I have to ride around in a fucking truck that a dude bought for me every day. I don't know.
No,
I just can't
you won
go
that
there.
truck. You won that truck.
We didn't shake on it.
I
He
don't
does
give a
not
fuck.
owe it to me.
I don't give a fuck. Take that goddamn
I'm right
truck.
there with you, Joe.
Yeah, take the truck,
No.
dude. It's first of all,
Yeah.
it's cool,
Yeah.
and he might also be your next opponent.
Yeah.
I mean, that's possible.
That's possible.
That's the guy.
He is,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's
he
the
is
guy.
definitely
Absolutely.
the guy that's up.
That's the
for-
guy. I mean,
Yep.
if there's anybody else in the division, that is the guy. I mean, now that Islam is up at 170, who else is there? That's the guy.
I agree.
Yeah, and what a division. I mean, holy shit. And now Charles is saying he wants
Been
to
that.
he
How
wants to
long-
fight you
this fucking division has been-
BMF and the lightweight title on the line. That would be crazy. So there's fights available.
Yes, there is.
Big. What are your thoughts like when you're thinking about competing? Who do you think it will be? You think it'll be Armin?
No.
No?
I can't say that I have a name.
Do you think Ely's going to try for a rematch?
No, he doesn't get a rematch. He can try, but he doesn't get one.
Wow.
He quit on the stool. He quit twice. I stopped him twice. What else do I have to fucking do? Plus, his next challenge can't be me. He needs to fight Patty or someone like that.
Does Patty have a fight scheduled?
I think he's fighting.
Saint Denis.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough fight.
Yeah.
Benoit's a beast.
Tough game. It's a
Yeah.
fucking crazy game. man.
It's a crazy game.
crazy
It's the
game.
craziest game. I mean,
By far.
think about where you were when you lost to Max and then where you are now. Just like think of the highs
It
and
wasn't
the
that
lows.
long ago either.
Was not that long ago.
Now you got the BMF champ wanting to fight you.
I have every belt.
Like,
I have three belts, 3 real belts, 2 interims, but those are fucking real belts. Mm-hmm. A real belt, the BMF belt, and then the UFC 250 belt.
Yeah, the UFC 250 belt.
No
is
one's-
dope
so
as
cool,
fuck.
dude.
There's only
Oh my
2
God.
of those
It's so
out
heavy.
there.
It's
I mean,
like
being-
the other
being a
belt is
fan-
heavy. That shit is freaking
Being a
heavy.
fan of this sport, like, what you want to come in here and do things that are not easily attainable.
Yeah.
And I've done a few things that are impossible to attain. 9 bonuses in my first 7 fights. 16 fights in the UFC. I probably 12 main events.
Yeah. And
10 at
17
least 10
bonuses
main
in
events.
16 fights.
And to be put in the main event of a UFC fight is fucking huge. Like, you go on the poster. Not many people get to experience that, and I've done it almost every single time. And so, I've done something unattainable.
It's got to feel good.
It feels great. It feels
should.
great. Again,
It should. As a
feels
fan,
good.
it's
It
feels
awesome
good
to have
as a
guys
fan.
like you
as
out
a
there.
fan, it feels good.
Right. As a
You
fan
know,
of yourself.
as a fan of the sport.
As a fan of the sport, getting to see what you've done.
Yeah,
What did you think about Cyril Gahn?
we didn't do
we
so.
didn't get to see it.
You didn't see it?
We were
in the locker room like, all right, you guys are going to go to a different staging room as soon as Bruce Buffer starts announcing. So they took us into a room with no screens. That's probably where the video of me shadowboxing with the flag.
Yeah.
That's
You were-
where.
yeah,
So we
some
were in
meeting
that.
room.
We were in there for like 30 minutes before I walked, and we could hear. You could,
little bit.
You hear I heard the ding of the the end of the round, the horn. I was like, okay, was that round 1? Yes. And then you hear nothing, and then I didn't even hear the finish. Like I didn't
Yeah.
hear the crowd roar.
No,
or
you
anything.
couldn't hear the crowd.
And then I heard, and still,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Because he was.
No.
No.
It said and new because
No.
they were
Did they
both going to
say
be
and
new.
new? I thought I
but
heard
then they
and
said,
still.
No,
They
it was
said, we heard
interim.
gone. We heard gone.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
heard gone. I was like, oh fuck, he won. And
Bro,
I-
that guy moves like a cat.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He for a heavyweight, I love watching heavyweights that can move. Like remember the Mike Tyson era. Just watching, I love watching Mike Tyson and just watching all the guys he fought. Heavyweight boxing was so good at that time. People used to jump rope.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's like I'm not going to say that all heavyweights are lazy, but my knees are bad. I'm a big person. Like those guys can move, and Cyril Gahn is one of those guys.
Well, he's the
He's
most.
so fast.
The
And
thing about him is he started out
dynamic.
as a basketball player.
Did he?
So
I
think
didn't
about
know that.
basketball.
Yep.
It's all these plyometrics. You're constantly changing direction and moving and jumping.
yeah, agility.
Yes, it's all agility, and that translates so brilliantly to
Absolutely.
his striking style because you got a guy who's 248 pounds who moves like a middleweight or moves like even lighter than that. I mean, it really moves like a welterweight almost. He's fast
Yeah.
and just very agile. And when you notice it is like because you know how good Pereira is, and Pereira getting lit up on his feet like that and then drop with a jab. It's like, woo.
Yeah.
Perfect time.
And it's heavyweights. Like, those are big dudes. Like,
Yeah.
Obviously, Pereira's put on some weight, but it's frame size.
Yeah.
It's, and Pereira's got a big frame, but
there's levels.
your body's been
Yeah.
that weight for a long period of time. Like, it's, again, that consistency.
Right.
It's MMA guy going into boxing. They're shorter rounds, but you're hitting sprints every round. Like, it's a different, like, there's you have to do it for a period of time to be able to adjust to that. That's a different,
Right.
It's everything that you do, you have to slowly go into those positions. You can't just jump into it.
And when you think about how big he was at 205, it maybe would have even been better for him to not really put on much weight.
I agree, 100%.
Because it's
Again,
not like Cyril Gane's a grappler.
and you got to be fast.
Yeah, you got to be fast.
Like, your speed's a factor.
It's a giant factor, and he's got insane power.
Yeah,
I mean, his
he
power has
does.
always been
He'll
heavyweight
carry
level
that with him.
power.
Absolutely. He's not going to lose his
Because
power.
he was so big, he was 251, and I was thinking, man, now it's like even though you have more power, you're also moving around with extra weight on your body. Like you're weighed down more by gravity. I mean, Gane looked so light and so loose. He's just like that style for a heavyweight, light on the toes like that is so unusual.
And not allowing Pereira to set his feet.
No, never.
Like, that's very smart.
And even like feigning takedowns,
nice.
it's not like he committed
that
to
was
those,
nice.
but he's got him thinking about. Look at how he
Yep.
drops him with the
Brought
fucking
him into
jab.
it.
Now here's the question, because one of the things that Pereira is saying is there's a illegal shot. A lot of the shots were illegal into the back of the head, but a
Well,
lot of them were to the side of
those
the
are
head.
close.
They're close. Because the
And then
first
they're
one,
also
when
moving.
when they explain it to you, it's
Yeah.
Trevor?
It's a 2-inch
Yeah,
line
2-inch line.
down like a mohawk.
This whole apron right here, but it's like this is legal, this is legal,
Yeah.
this is legal, this is illegal, legal, illegal.
I mean,
And
a
the
couple of
movement.
those shots definitely landed illegally, but
No, I think
there's
the
also
hammer fist
movement.
for
first
sure.
one, did you
Those
see him
two-
drop his head down
Yeah,
to the hips?
exactly,
So
exactly.
you're moving,
So that's legal. That's
yeah.
illegal.
There's a
Illegal.
couple illegal ones.
There's probably 3 or 4.
Right, but it's also movement and chaos. It's not like he's
Yeah,
trying
he's not trying
deliberately.
to. That's like poking someone in the eye on purpose. Like if I was
Yeah.
that good, I would touch their chin.
right.
How
right.
was the fight
That's a
stopped?
lot smaller
Exactly.
target.
Was the fight stopped there on the ground?
No, it kept going. This
Okay,
is
so
this is
that's-
actually the finish of the fight
Okay,
right
if
here.
that was a
He
finish-
caught him with a big elbow right here and rocked him. I mean, Pereira was in real trouble.
Yeah.
I mean, he got fucked up.
Yeah.
And Cyril Gane did a fantastic job. He really put it on him.
Should you ever stop a championship fight
This is
on
it
the
right
feet?
here. That was it right
Yeah,
there.
I would have.
At that point,
that looked like a good
yeah,
stoppage.
that
I'm
was a
not
good
saying it wasn't.
stoppage.
I haven't watched the fight. So.
Here's the stoppage right here. You can see it.
Yeah, I haven't either, and I'm just watching this. Yeah, that's like he
I
fell
mean, it
with
was
his
a
hands on his
cumulative.
hips.
It was so many
Yeah.
blows. Maybe he could have taken 1 or 2 more after that for sure. But Pereira is pissed off at Herb Dean, and he's saying Herb Dean should never referee again because he allowed those shots to the back of the head. I'm
I
like,
mean, you're in the moment. I mean,
Yeah.
fight, but that's natural for a fighter to do. Like
To say
again,
that
if it's,
afterwards?
well, if a situation you want to, first off, you got to bring awareness to it, so they're not, you have to always be aware of, hey, I could have did better here,
Yeah.
because that's how we all grow. So we need to talk about it. But from what I just watched there, and I haven't watched the whole fight, was the fight competitive at all?
yes.
Okay.
The first round was very
Okay,
competitive.
so that would change
Yeah.
a little thing. But from what I just watched right there at the end, that was that looked like a good finish to me.
The first-
the refs have such a tough job.
Yeah, they do.
I'm notorious for being
Yeah.
really hard on these refs because I mean you expect them to be you need them to be perfect. Their main job is to protect you. When I fought Michael Chandler, I'm still, and again, I only speak about it now because I've never had a retraction from the referee. Whenever he poked me in the eye, and then he didn't get in between us, and he let him hit me with a huge shot, and then he doesn't give me my time to to recover. And there was only 5 seconds left in the round, so it turned out that I got a break anyways. But he goes in there, he says, "Are you good?" I said, "No, I'm not good. He just poked me in the fucking eye." And he says, "Okay, but are you good?" And so then it's like, can I still fight? So then I said, "Yeah, I'm good." And he says, "Okay, go."
What referee was this?
The guy with the braid that he puts in his
Oh,
thing.
Mike Beltran.
Yeah, Mike Beltran.
yeah.
And so I was very upset that he let Michael Chandler land that shot. And I know why. He was so scared of the fucking heat we were throwing that he didn't want to jump in there and get in the middle of it. But his job is to protect me. And he failed. He failed so bad right there. And so, like, after the fact, that's like, I need you to acknowledge this so that you do not ever let that happen to another athlete in there because you fucked up so bad. And, you know, he's trying to justify it. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? How can you justify this? And so that, for me, that pisses me off. And then the decision not to give me my time, like, I need an explanation.
Yeah.
You know, and because I need to know that you are going to learn from this experience. And for right now, I still believe that he doesn't think he did anything wrong. And so I'm still upset about that.
Well, once you say to
Because
someone...
we're petty. We're petty, you know?
Well,
like,
you should be in that situation. Because if you say to someone, you got poked in the eye, are you good? And you're like, yeah, I'm good, but I got poked in the fucking eye. And then you're supposed to say,
one
you
or
have
two
5
seconds.
minutes.
One or 2 seconds. But are you good? I said, well,
No,
yeah,
you're
I'm
supposed
good.
To, you're
he says, okay, go.
Are you good is not the right question. You have 5 minutes. Are you ready to fight? Can you see? Do you need to bring in a doctor? There's a series of questions, but you have 5 minutes is very important. For a fighter getting poked in the eye, you have 5 minutes to recover.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I didn't know. I didn't know at the point. I feel pressure in my face right now. Like this feels.
You're
foreign.
not going to know for a couple seconds.
Yeah, I don't
and you're
know.
You're gonna blink a little bit, move around a little bit. All right, I'm good. And that's when it's supposed to be very clear. That's when you're ready to re-engage.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the mistake he has to learn from because it was such a. And after the round ends, I walk over to him like, dude, get your fucking head out of your ass. What the fuck are you doing? He's like, go to your stool. I was like, no, what the fuck are you doing? Like, your job is to protect me. You just let me get hit with a huge fucking shot. What is going on? And he's like, go to your stool. Go to your stool. And I sit down and then boom, never thought about it again. But still pissed off about that one.
You should be. I mean, that makes sense. I mean,
Same
that's
with,
a mistake.
Who's the ref that against Khabib? After the fight, he corners me in the hallway, and he's like, I know you would never tap. I was like, I tapped 3 times. He's like, no, you would never tap. I'm like, dude, from the horse's mouth, I'm telling you, I tapped, and he still was like, no, you wouldn't tap. I was like, what the fuck? How can we get through this? Like,
So
I tapped
that
3
was-
times.
you
I went to
tapped
sleep.
and you went to sleep. I've seen that.
Yeah, I tapped 3 times.
100% you tapped.
Yeah.
100%. And then he's like, no, you would. I know that you with the way that you compete.
Who's the referee?
What's the guy's name? Is
I
that-
hate to throw. I don't even want to throw Herzog. I don't even want to throw him under the bus. Because it's like his intention.
hard job.
His intentions were good
Hard
for
job,
me.
right.
He believed I was.
He gave you a chance.
Gave me a chance, but like
Right.
I fucking tapped, man. Like
Right,
I
and
did.
the fight should have been
And I
stopped.
went to sleep because of it. And luckily, there's no detrimental and chronic, long-lasting problems because of getting choked out. So I mean,
Not like getting knocked
there's no
out.
repercussions. Yeah, there was no
Right.
concussion. There's no TBI. Like, it really is not detrimental at all. As long as you don't hold it too long and I die. As long as I wake up, I'm good.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, like the repercussions aren't as severe, and so like whatever, I'll just let this go. But ultimately, he did it. I mean, even when I told him, he didn't believe me.
That was the first thing you said when you jumped up. You went over to him, and then you guys had the conversation afterwards. But you went over to him saying, dude, what the fuck? I tapped.
Dude,
And
what
then
the
he's like, no,
fuck?
you did it. And then we seen him later. But that was
He's
the
like,
first
no,
thing
he didn't. I was
said.
like, dude, I tapped 3 times. I tapped 3 fucking times.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious.
Like,
People make mistakes and they don't
And
see
everyone was
things,
like, "Oh,
too.
you said you're some kind of fucking, you think you're some kind of Superman? Why would you tap?" It's like when your life is ending, you're a fool if you don't understand that. Like, I knew I was dying, and that's just where I was. Yeah.
So
I was
that's
in a
how
position-
crazy you are to everybody. Their eyes are like, no, dude. Like, I know you better than you do. You never tap. Like, you kind of fight like that. But
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
People think the best
that's how he
the
perceived
best
it.
thing up to this moment is people don't give me credit for my intellectual abilities. And I've also played into that, and I've also understood how big of an asset it is for people to approach me like that. Thinking that I'm just some animal that doesn't think or feel or whatever people think, or think I'm retarded.
Well, I think what it is when you are such an animal, people think you can't be smart. Because a smart person would be aware of the consequences and wouldn't have the courage to fight the way you fight.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And people who don't have that kind of courage, they like to dismiss people that fight like savages, because they go, well, savages can't be smart. That's not right.
Yeah.
That's not correct. People, it's like you see a really hot woman, you go, oh, she got to be a retard.
Yeah.
Like, no, some of them are really fucking smart and also hot. You know, like the world is confusing, and you can't categorize people and put them into things, little fucking boxes just to make you feel better.
Yeah.
That's all it is, you know. And
the thing is, I never signed up. Like when we were walking out to the press conference, there's like 12, 15,000 people out there. I look at the guy, I was like, dude, I never, ever signed up to be a public speaker. What the fuck are we doing here? Like, I never wanted to be in this, where I talk in front of this many people. Like, that's not what I prepared myself for ever.
Right.
And now I'm in this situation where I have to, every single word I say before these fights is analyzed by the world. Like the whole, my father is my dad. Like, sometimes I get tongue-tied.
Yeah.
Sometimes I misspeak.
I do too, and I talk for a living.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
It's fucking normal.
But nobody, if people if it had to listen to themselves, they would understand that they also make mistakes. And so it's like, fuck, man. Like, I can't be perfect. I'm sorry. I really wish. I didn't mean my dad was my father, even though, it fucking makes sense and it's true.
Listen, you're dealing with a bunch of people that have to write stories.
Yeah, they have to.
It's
Yeah.
not.
I know,
It's
and I
not
do know
about
that.
writing a story because something's interesting. They have to make a story, no matter what it is. Their job is to create content, and
I
when
guess-
your job is to create content, you make content out of nothing,
Yeah.
and it's usually not good.
Yeah.
And that's what they're doing. They're
If I
making big
could
deals out
have,
of
if
nothing.
I could have been mentally coached, it would have been in that aspect.
Public speaking.
Just like,
I think you speak very well.
no, it's like, I guess there's no lesson to learn. Like, you just have to do it. It's through experience.
Yeah, it's like fighting. You just do it a bunch of times and you get comfortable with it, or you're naturally talented, like Connor.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that
Yeah,
guy?
Oh, smart guy.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
great at that.
Yeah.
Like, he's fantastic at that shit. I mean, that's where he shines.
You ain't lying. You are like Tom Petty. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. You are petty. Dude, who cares what people think?
No,
I
I
think he
know,
speaks
but-
great, right?
I like to see what people are saying about our interview, and because I want to see the perception. I want to.
Just keep inspiring.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're asking for the perceptions from people that you would probably never fucking talk to in real life because they're dumb
100%.
and annoying.
Well, you
and
don't
those
wanna
are the
know their
people that
shit,
are
yeah.
most likely going to comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people that are most likely going to... You think Michael Jordan's out there leaving YouTube comments? No, right? It's not people
So
that
true.
have their fucking shit together and have
Yeah,
big goals.
100%.
People who are really dialed in and really fucking disciplined, and the people whose opinions you'd respect, they're not leaving comments.
Yeah.
They're certainly not
Brian,
leaving
you
shitty
nailed
comments.
That. You nailed that. That's
Just the reality,
Yeah.
and I'm not hating on these people. I'm just saying, like, I would have been one of them. If somebody gave me a fucking YouTube account when I was
Dude.
17, I'd be posting the most horrible shit about everybody, right? Everybody would.
Yeah.
You're a kid,
Yeah.
or you're a dumbass. You don't have your life together yet. But that's the type. You can't listen to them and take that as gospel because it's just not.
Just seeing him walk through the airport and just everybody's perception when they see you and meet you is so great, dude. Like, it's like people that like
Bro, the haters. If
yeah.
the haters met you, they're like, bro, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, but still,
no,
but
they
it's
are.
but one of those things is like the inspiration on people like everybody comes up and they're your favorite fighter. Like, have the brand that you're your favorite fighter. Like, that is unique.
Yeah.
That is like such a cool thing. Like, you just keep inspiring and
Very proud of
be
it.
you.
You should
Very
be.
proud of it.
Should be so proud.
You should be.
Yeah.
So, I asked you after the fight if you were going to fight again. You said you promised your mom you weren't going to make a decision. And so it just settled in. I mean, today we're here, it's Friday. The fight was just Sunday, so it was 5 days ago. So now you're just like, fuck. How do you not after that? I mean, you're the fucking champ. It would be great to go out like that. It would be an amazing cap, but also great to have at least one more.
Yeah. We'll see.
People like to watch chaos.
We will
At
see.
the highest level, controlled
course.
chaos.
It'll never be
see.
that chaos again because it'll never be like
It's hard to understand how
fighter jet flyovers. And,
It's hard to
All right.
understand how
Fuck.
dangerous this game is if you don't do it.
Right.
And so,
It's impossible.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be a huge factor. There's a lot of variables that I have to contemplate when it comes to that decision.
Do you have a timeline in your head?
I do know. So you can't remember a time I fought 2 times in 6 months in the UFC. I've fought 2 times this year already in less than 6 months. And so I'm going to take the rest of the year. I need my body to heal. I have, what's the fucking diagnosis? I have a severe bone edema in the tip of my fibula that happened on Christmas. And I have been dealing with that since Christmas Day.
So a bone bleed, like a bruised bone?
Bruise, yeah. It's in the bone marrow of the tip of my fibula. Oh. Tip of my tibia clacked against my femur. And it caused a deep, deep bruise, and I cannot get it to heal because I went, I was going through training camp. It really hurt after the Patty fight.
When are you leaving? When are you leaving today?
We fly out at like 6:30.
It's 3 o'clock. I want to see if I can get you into Ways to Well. Let me text Brigham and see if they could jab some fucking stem cells in there before you leave.
I've gone to Vegas. I've got stem cells multiple times.
Ways to Well's pretty special place.
PRP put me on crutches. It was crazy. And then I did a cortisone shot the Friday before I left.
Wow.
And that helped a lot.
Well, not training is really what it needs, right? And have you been doing any hyperbaric chamber stuff?
No.
That's huge for
I got
recovery.
You have no idea how
injuries.
Against my process you guys would be. I mean, I think I probably had 2 massages this camp.
That's amazing. Well, it's really funny if you look at the difference between Ilya Topuria has a YouTube channel as well, where it's fantastic, really goes into depth, but they're using like all this high-tech neural stimulation headgear, and he's doing all these different things, and it's all
you see the video? It's got him doing that and then me taking a 420 dab.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you see our video where he had the dog shocker on his forehead? Every time he got straight with his legs, he got flat. I hit the button. He bent his legs again.
No, we covered our eyes and threw balls at each other.
Yeah,
trying to tap into those intuitive abilities.
Yeah, right. Yeah, with your eyes closed.
But I mean, dude, like,
you're funny.
I come from the fucking dirt. My parents fucked up. They didn't put a golf club in my hand at 4 years old. They threw me in the dirt. And, I became comfortable with the uncomfortable.
That's a giant factor, though. Being comfortable with being uncomfortable is a huge asset.
Yeah.
It's such a...
It is.
With everything in life. With everything in life.
I think wrestling is definitely is the biggest variable when it comes to my success. I mean, the mental side of it, like, nobody can... It's very similar to fighting in the fact that nobody can help you. It is against you. All the blame is on you. All the success goes to you. And you can never use somebody else as an excuse. Any team setting, I played football, I played baseball, soccer, swim team. Swim team's a little different. But, there's always a justification for why you failed or why you lost when it comes to those. And you could always point to somewhere else, or at least a piece, even if it's 1 or 2% somebody else's fault. Then you can justify it. The loss.
Yes.
In wrestling, that's never the case.
Not only that, it's a combat sport that's acceptable in high school. Like, it's a combat sport that you take in junior high school, you take in high school, and kids learn. Like, there's guys out there that are different. They're working harder than you. They're more aggressive than you. They want it more than you. Yep. They put in more time than you, and that's a lesson that's very valuable because kids get delusional about what their abilities are, how special they are, who they are. When you get fucking flatlined by some dude who just fucking picks you up and slams you on your back and pins you, and you're like, and he can do it anytime he wants. And this is the reality of training with this guy, like over and over and over again. You're like, oh, great. He lateral drops you in front of the whole class. Oh, great. Like, this is reality. Now, you're either going to get better or this is going to keep happening to you over and over and over again. And the mental toughness that comes out of kids that grind it out in wrestling and learn how to wrestle uncomfortable, learn how to cut weight at an early age, all that shit's terrible for you, but the mental aspect of it is fucking undeniable. Think about how many great wrestlers have become great MMA champions.
Absolutely.
It's the most important foundation.
And great business people. Like I watched a study a long time ago. They said that the boxing and wrestling created the best employees because of accountability.
Yes.
And again, the cutting the weight, like, you're responsible. Like, this is what I love about Justin is what makes it so nice to train him is and high-level people. Like, I've had the luck to be able to train some high-level guys lately, and I don't have to deal with any shit. Like, you know, and it's if I hold myself accountable, then we don't have to have these deep conversations or get our feelings hurt, that we're just true to it. His accountability for everything is just, there's nothing like it. And I credit that to his parents. His parents are just such amazing people. And the way that they had raised him to hold, you know, because he screwed up a lot as a kid. I told him if we were hanging out when we were younger, we got a lot of trouble because he reminded me of myself, super hyper, so like making super bad decisions, but getting punished, getting grounded, getting not being able to go out late at night, like strict parents. And that, being able to understand that there is rules in life and you have to be accountable. If you screw up, you got to deal with the punishment. And that is, it comes from your parents. And
I agree. I think my parents being such good people, so my mindset has always, since I was a kid, I have looked up. So the reason I take comments online and I read them, I've always looked up and given every single person I've ever interacted with the benefit of the doubt of being good. And whether it's what they're saying, what they're doing, their actions, everybody's been my role model. I've never looked at myself as a role model. I've always looked at no matter what, even strangers, like I trust that they're good, and that's where I start everywhere from. And so reading comments online, like I truly take into account what I'm reading, you know. And I don't know why, because I know it doesn't matter a lot of the times. A lot of these probably fucking 13, 14-year-old kids, but in my mind they're 50-year-old, you know, men with experience, and I just try to use as much of the readily available information, comments, words, action as I can from a place of, like, I feel like a child in a sense when it comes to like interacting with people. And I don't know why that's how I take it or that's how I do it, but it makes everything, you know, a little bit better, and I'm not as disappointed as much, because like once I learn that they're not that, or they're not good and they can't help me, then I don't be like, oh, that's a bad person. I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to have that experience again.
Well, that's a good perspective. It sounds like you use it then. And listen, everyone's different. And if you can handle it and you don't get mentally ill from reading comments, dude, you're a rare person.
We had many conversations in the way that
human services, that's what I went to school for human service. I love to help people. You have no idea how much joy it brings me to assist people, to make people's life better, to lift someone's spirit. I mean, that is what makes me feel alive. And that comes through my faith and through my parents. You know, my parents are such good people. They deserve so much more than most parents because of their actions and their example that they showed for me. And yeah, I'm just so grateful to be the person that I am, because, you know, it makes life easier. Life is easy. Life is so easy when you're not concerned about what people think, when you're not worried about things that you can't control.
Well, it's also easy if you're a good person. It's
well,
easier.
But I couldn't be a good person without the example of my parents. You have no idea how good and naive my parents are. And when I say naive, it's in such a good way, because they haven't done the bad things that most of us have done. And I failed them. And the last time I ever did drugs, I woke up in an ambulance, and I'm pretty sure I died. And I was like, I will never fucking do that again. My parents do not deserve that. And that was probably 2016.
Wow.
And I was like, I will never touch that again, ever. My parents do not deserve that. And that's why I'm here.
Well, good for you, dude. That's awesome. And it's great that you have such an awesome relationship with your parents. And it really does seem like that attitude that you have is very freeing in a lot of ways.
It is. It really is.
Yeah.
Golf. Weed.
Trevor, let's talk about those gloves. What the fuck do we have to do to get your gloves into the UFC? It doesn't make any sense that we're using inferior gloves.
Wait, I want to talk about this, but the gloves I fought in this week were different.
They are?
They felt they weren't different. The leather was different. It was the same glove. The leather was different. It was a little bit thicker, I think, and so it was softer. And so every time I've ever fought, I've had the most excruciating pain in between my hands right here, and I didn't feel that at all this fight.
So they were thicker. So it's like if you have like a thinner material going through, it's going to cut through the skin a little easier.
Or
so
tighter
it was
material.
thicker,
Tighter material.
Yeah.
This was looser because it was thicker. It was weird.
So it was better.
Better
for that feeling that all fighters
Better
get
for comfortability. Yeah, like
Yeah.
you guys have no idea how uncomfortable we are when we
You're
walk in
always
there.
like pulling on the glove to pull it back. It's like getting a hand wrap too tight and you get those little things
You're
between
constantly
you. It's like
pulling on the
cutting
tongue
it.
here
So
to
you
try to
make
get
a
it-
fist
try to
and
get the
it squeezes
pressure.
harder.
But this guy's a genius. He can fucking make anything.
So Hunter reached out to me 4 weeks ago, and said he wanted to ignite the conversation again. So we'll see where that goes. But, from that first position that we were in, a lot of things happened. And a great thing, I always told you, it was going to be timing. Timing's everything. And they did the right thing and tried to make what we had spoke about. We had an NDA, and we had a 5-year, and they moved it to a 2-year. Took a lot of great notes, and I'm very grateful to be a part of those because they did go out there and use a lot of the ideas that I had, but they just couldn't do it to the level that I could do it. And I thought it was super cool that they were trying because it's a problem that they don't really see and understand. So I think they're in the right mindset, and them helping the athletes I thought was a great thing to do. But during that time when I was going to talk to, I actually brought the gloves, and it was when you were fighting on 300. We were out there, and I had a new patent that I had been working on, so we could go opposite direction. If they want to own it, it's a separate patent from the patent that I had that goes in all of our products, the internal strapping. This was a new patent, still with internal strapping, but a more dialed in for a fight glove. And then we had those two options, and then when we got there, Ollie had told me that they're releasing a new glove. And so we have... 2 versions now, which is super cool. And I think it'll go great.
Here's the conversation, though. Like, what are you trying to fix?
Eye pokes.
Okay.
Eye pokes are big.
That is not possible.
You don't think it's possible to make less eye pokes?
You can make less.
You can make less, but you'll never stop.
You're never
going
to stop. Well, of course you're not going to stop because the fingers are out. You're always
The
going to have
issue
thumbs.
is the athlete. The issue is the comfortability of the athlete and the performance of the athlete. That is where your ambition has to lie when it comes to making the glove better. Because the gloves we're fighting in now are fucking terrible. You have no idea. It's hard to make a fist. You have to use your entire muscle of your arm to make a fist. And so by the time we get to the fight, this is already
your forearm
exhausted.
Yep.
Exhausted. And then the pressure in between your fingers is like something you can't replicate.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's possible to make something that's like a mitten? Something that covers over the tips of the fingers. You would have fucking 80% less eye pokes.
I do think you could do that in time. I don't think change is hard for everybody, Joe.
But why?
And that's a huge change for grapplers and things like that. But you're a
thin.
grappler. So you're a
Right.
grappler. Most people are going to say, well, that's going to affect this or my certain lock or
I think
until
it
they
would-
try it. But again, it's you have to test it.
It would enhance it. The only the problem would be like rear naked chokes, like getting the hand behind the head. You have more thickness. Like it's regular gloves are a problem already. But is it more of a problem just to have the fingers covered with the regular glove? I think it's the same. It might actually even slip in better. But the thing is, it's like covering the tips with like a mitten, like those old school Everlast bag gloves.
I think it's a different sport now.
But why? You can still clinch. You can still do everything.
That's
you can
what
do.
I'm talking about,
You can
Joe,
take guys
is-
to the ground.
But you
everything's the same. You can still grapple.
This is telling me so much right
Yeah.
now. Like, and if you take that away
Touch.
from me, yeah,
Right.
like that's a huge factor when it comes to intuitive abilities.
Okay, like explain that to me. Like, what are you feeling with your fingertips that you think would be missing?
Well, it's not the fingertips. It's my hand. Like he moves away. He moves any direction. Like I can make that read. Now he's farther. Now he's there.
Right.
And I think if you're gonna take touch away from us, that would deter our intuitive abilities.
I wonder how
in a way.
much. It
But I
would
also
if you
think
start
that you have to
practicing
understand
with them.
where, as a fighter, for me, it's like when I am relaxed. When I'm relaxed, and if my hand can be in this position when I'm relaxed, then I'm okay. Then there's not going to be as many eye pokes. But when I relax and it goes like this,
Right.
like, and now
Because
I
the
have
gloves
to
force your hand
Now I
open.
have to do this. I'm naturally. You're never going to take the human reaction and instinct away to protect yourself. And the instinct to protect yourself is no.
Right.
Like that is the instinct.
Right.
It's natural, it's intuitive, and it has to be that because you're trying to get your chin tucked behind your shoulders so that you don't get hit. But the uncomfortability and like the strenuous effort it takes to make a fist is fucking stupid.
It's
Yeah.
stupid, and this is the difference between your gloves and the current UFC gloves.
My
Your
gloves are made
curl
to
your
perform.
hand.
My gloves are one of those things that it
promotes a natural hand
natural
position.
a better grip,
Yes.
better fist position where I'm not, when I squeeze my fist and I have the wrap on, it doesn't pull my hand up like this. And when you see guys touch gloves, they're usually like this. Not like this.
Right.
And it's lining the bones up for, again, they said that the last gloves were causing less knockouts. Our gloves were going to cause more knockouts because of better hand position, better grip strength on being able to have holds. Like if I'm
And
holding
better
someone's
protection for your hands, so less broken hands.
And internal strapping. Like that is a huge thing. Like my goal at a certain point would to have where you can't have hand wraps on. Like if you have a glove that's actually protecting your hand, but you have the gloves on, that now it's equal 100%, because if you got one person that adds more padding or less padding or double layers tape, like there's many different things that you can do. And that, to me, it's like if one fighter has tape wrapping their hands and then the other one has house wrapping the hands, they're wrapping differently. Which one's better for breaks? Which one's better for punching? So having that would be really cool. And that's the difference with like our gloves. I'll show you.
I've never broke my hand when he's ever taped my hands. Like his tape job is, I can't wait to show it off to the commission every single time. I'm like, look at that. Tell me you've seen a better one than that tonight. And every time they're like, I don't think so.
You got gloves? Of course you did. Of course you did. They're my favorite by far. And ladies and gentlemen at home, if you're just listening, the difference between Trevor's gloves and everybody else's gloves, one of the big differences is that you can see, if you're looking at it on that, let's see how they're curved, folks.
It looks like a hand.
The regular gloves from the UFC are not. They're straight, just like this. So these gloves promote a natural punching position. Look, without even putting them on, they're already in that position. And then when you put them on, they're damn near perfect. The padding is amazing. They're fantastic to hit the bag with. They're just fucking awesome. And more importantly, look what they promote.
Relax.
So my hand is totally dead relaxed, and it promotes a closed fist position.
The cool part, Joe, is this. This is what I was talking about.
So this is he's doing the internal strapping right now.
This strap is coming from over here, so that's going to pull this in. As you notice, we got pad on the side, so there's no, like all the other gloves, the pad.
Right.
So if I'm coming down on a single knuckle, but again, this strap is going to really seal you in. And then this one.
So these are better than the last ones you brought here. Oh, this is fucking fantastic.
Like I said, I've been dialing in, finding the right product.
Oh my God, you don't even need hand wraps. Well, you had told me before that when you hit the bag with his gloves, his bag gloves,
I haven't wrapped my hands since 2015.
Pfeiffer doesn't fight with hand wraps on, which is crazy.
Some guys don't. And it can get to the point, if we have the right protection, it's awesome.
This is so superior to the UFC gloves. I mean, the fact that this isn't being used by the UFC right now is fucking criminal.
We're going to get it done.
I hope so.
Hey, and you know
I've been
what?
trying so hard.
I stepped away from like the business part. I'm the visionary now. So I got right people that know how to make deals. So it's right. And the UFC is going to be happy.
We weren't ready.
Yeah. Dude, I'm in there like, dude, I don't do that.
That was me versus Khabib.
I take full responsibility.
Oh, I believe it.
That I didn't know that you could do deals all these different ways. When they'd say what they wanted to do, I was like, yeah, that's not how.
Bro, this feels so good.
Yep.
It's so better. It's just
better.
much better. It's like
when you put it on and you're like, oh, I want to hit something.
Well, this is one of the things that I love about you is that you're so fucking creative with stuff, and you're constantly trying to
every
refine
single piece
things
of
and make them
equipment I
better.
have trained with for the last.
Dude, so we see so many.
So
11,
this is your
12,
training bag.
11,
your training
12. Yeah,
gloves?
that's what I train in. Yep.
Nice.
So
I hit pads in that. I've never wore hand wraps once.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Get your thumb in there, but watch how you can open your hand to go straight out, and then the pointer knuckle. Protecting that pointer knuckle is so big.
Yeah. That's it, right?
Yep.
Nice. Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah, and then you
So
open, you
good.
can still grip.
Right, you can still grip.
But
you
your
can
fingers
still grab things. It's hard to choke
and
somebody.
the door knocking knuckles. This is what
Choke the
lands a
shit out of
lot.
people with those.
I bet you do. You got to go palm to palm, right?
Yeah.
But still, it's just
Those are yours, Joe.
fantastic. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and then
Thank
I got you
very
another
much.
pair of X Factors too,
Fuck
because
yeah.
you got
Beautiful.
big hands. So I remember I gave you the 16s. You're like, bro, these ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah, I got big hands for a little dude. Unusual.
Yeah, we'll
Very
get
weird.
it done. But I mean, anytime you want to.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy you're going to get it done because I pushed for it so many times. I brought it up to
thank
Dana. I brought it up to everybody. I was like, listen,
yeah.
what the fuck are we doing? You guys spent $1 million billion trying to make these new gloves. You got rid of them in 3 months.
That's because this could sound bad. That's because they've never thought about the fighter.
But
when
they
it
did.
comes-
They tried to make new gloves.
They tried.
They didn't fucking try.
Yeah, they did, dude. They, you know how much money? I'm not going to tell you how much money they
spent a
put
lot
in.
of money.
They did, dude.
To do what? To give me the same exact fucking
They
product?
thought they
they
were
hired
making a
people.
bet. They
What
hired
did they
people.
do?
The people
What
don't know
did
what
they
the fuck they're
change?
doing.
They hired a company that works on
But
football
what did they
helmets.
change in their glove?
But they don't know. They took the ideas. At least they tried. They did. I will give them 100% credit for
They
that.
did try, but I remember seeing the gloves when they tried and going, "These suck.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are not as good." I'm like, right
Yeah,
away, I was
yeah.
Still uncomfortable. Still hurt my hands.
I said to him right away,
Yeah.
"Why don't you just get Trevor's gloves?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing here? No, these are good. These are good. Get the fuck. The best gloves exist. They're already made. Like, there's only a few people out there that are willing to like really get creative and redesign and engineer gloves. And when
that's-
someone does it to the extent that you've done it, like, God.
So, Joe, when you think about that, that's where I think I fit in well with this, because I want to evolve with the company. And if we change one thing, like my first thing I want to do is help a performance. I don't want someone to hurt their hand where all of a sudden I hurt my hand on the top of your head and I'm just left-handed now. And everybody just, there's no pay-per-view now, but I pay to watch these fights. And now the guy that I wanted to see fight can't continue because he hurt his hand.
Right.
So we fixed that problem. We fixed longer, better grip strength for the grapplers who are going to need to have wrist control when throwing shots. I want to help athletes perform, and as we go, let's slowly develop and test with the athletes and find out what, because it's about the athlete. It's what works for them. And when we can get gloves on people and try something like you were talking about, that'll take time. You have to train it and go, oh, I actually like this better. And there's the pros and cons. There's pros and cons to everything.
Right.
So it would take time. And that's where I'm passionate about is let's find a problem and let me think through solving it. But
Well,
I need to
listen,
know
dude,
what that problem
your
is.
gear, and we should send anybody to your website. Is it Onyx?
Yeah, ONX Sports.
OnyxSports.com.
Yep, a lot of people
The
spell it with
best
a Y.
gloves, the best shin pads.
thank you.
You have the best equipment. It's fucking phenomenal. There it is right there. That's the website. Onyx Sports. It's fucking fantastic stuff. I mean, it's really obvious that it's a high-level coach who's developed all this shit. I mean, everything you make is top of the food
Got
chain.
the best tester in the world,
You
baby.
do, dude.
dog.
By far, dude.
I fucking break everything.
I'm sure.
And I cannot break these gloves. I cannot break these gloves. I have to switch every like 6 months because I wear the foam out so much. So I don't ever want to hurt my.
But you got 2 or 3
Sparring
sessions of
point.
training every day. Like
Yeah.
that's for a typical person. These gloves are going to last well over. Corey had his shin guards for 4 years.
I had
That's
my shin
incredible.
guards for like 3 years.
Yeah.
And when you think about the amount of damage that 3 years entails,
Yep.
that's pretty
Absolutely.
fucking incredible for
So
pieces
much
of leather
sweat.
and foam. Yeah, you're
much fucking
soaked
sweat.
with sweat. Everything's getting broken down and moisturized and then drying out again and crap.
Hey, that's our bags that were up there,
Mm-hmm.
dude. We got connectors for the shin guards and the knee pads on the outside, so all your equipment's on the outside of the bag to dry. Yeah, so that's really cool too. So just trying to
That's-
rethink how things work. So
That's what I love about the way
Yeah.
you approach
Yeah.
things. You're always like fixing
Dude,
the problem.
I can't stand when we're not even working on kickboxing and someone's kicking, and it's because they're fucking gear. You know,
That was the
they're
worst
fucking
thing about
nasty.
fixing my nose.
Dude, fucking silly
smelling
shit.
people. I was like,
Oh,
oh
dude.
my God, people stink.
You know how the gym is,
What the
especially with
fuck?
geese, right? Like, dude, you get the bro,
dude.
like
the
what
dudes
the
who don't
fuck is
wash
wrong
their
with you?
geese, those guys are that's a real problem.
It's a real problem,
And those are the ones that always give you fucking cooties too.
dude. Oh,
Right?
so nasty.
Yeah, it's nasty. Listen, Justin, I'm so glad you're not going to fight to the end of the year, like for whenever. Just enjoy that because that was a fucking masterpiece.
Yes, sir.
It was beautiful to be there. I mean, I felt so
American.
So American.
Hey.
Yeah, so
I
cool.
felt so.
It's so hard to
thankful.
represent this country because we're such a
Yes.
melting pot.
Yes.
And I think I have done it. I think I achieved that. And so I'm very, very proud of that.
Dude, you did it in spades. You did it 5 stars. It was fucking phenomenal. It was one of the greatest events that any sporting event has ever put on. I mean, maybe the greatest sporting event in the history of the world.
I said it before. This is going to be like some Miracle on Ice shit.
It was, man.
I know.
It really was.
I knew
It really
I had
was.
the opportunity to do something
You
special.
did it, and then here, come down.
Yeah, Yeah, I want to see my family.
It was
your
incredible.
dad.
That was so cool.
So
Look
awesome.
how cool that is.
Yeah, so cool.
Look how cool that is. That is so amazing. That's so fucking amazing. It was an amazing night,
dad
dude.
was
I'm
so
so happy I went. I'm so happy I was there to see it live.
Me too.
It was a real honor.
I was honestly really nervous, Joe. I was like, dude, there's like just again being around everybody and something could happen. The drones that could, that they
Yeah.
stopped. Like, again, I wasn't knowing what to expect, and then until after the fight, because again we couldn't take it in. It was a beautiful thing. And Justin,
I was like, fuck it. If I get taken out in the middle of the cage, how fucking legendary
Yeah.
would that be?
I said to Trump, I go,
Dude,
I hope we
you're
don't die in a
freaking
terrorist
nuts,
attack.
dude.
I said to Trump, I hope we don't die in a terrorist attack. He goes, we got to go somehow. I
That's
go,
what I
what
mean.
the
Yeah,
fuck?
like everyone will remember it for the rest of eternity.
yeah, but no, I'll pass.
Sign me up,
I'll
bud.
pass.
Better the way it went.
Dude,
I think
The
it
way it
went
went is way better.
fantastic.
That's a way better outcome.
Way better. Well, hey, brother, thank you for coming here.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations. Masterpiece.
Yes.
Both of you.
Let's go hunting. I want to go hunting.
Fuck
I just
yeah.
got I'm gonna shoot an elk.
I saw on
my first
Go
elk this
Hunt,
year.
on the Go Hunt website.
Yeah,
you went
we-
antelope hunting.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Crazy
awesome.
hunt.
Did you see
Yeah.
Luke,
Almost as-
1,000-yard shot?
Dude,
No.
check it out.
Dude.
Check it out. We fucking missed our ass off. We were it was windy. These things do not stop moving. They could see us forever, and they just kept going. And we were on shoot. We couldn't get prone, so we had to. You're every hunt. You're like, I'm gonna have a prone position. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
shoot from. We cannot get in a prone position, so we're on shooting sticks, trying to manipulate the sticks and take shots.
yeah.
And
Antelope
we
are tough.
we were
that's
not
a
ready.
prehistoric
so
animal.
Luke misses from 140 yards.
Dude, the
Misses.
story was so
this
much
thing
better
goes
for Luke
to
without that.
1,093 yards. And
Crazy.
He hits it in the head, drops it. And we're just like, what the fuck, Luke? How? How do you hit that shot and miss 100? This is, look at this.
Wow, that's crazy.
1,092.
Was he shooting for the head?
No. I don't even know if he hit it. I mean, it
It
was
looked like he
just
shot
a,
him in
looked
the
like a
neck.
neck.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it
it
looked
was
like he got
like
him in the
a
neck.
neck.
It was 1,000 yards.
1,000
Who knows
yards,
how much
we're
wind
we're
drift?
just trying to hit the center of the fucking target.
Boy, and these crazy prairies too, the kind of wind drift you're dealing
Dude,
with.
and they can see for miles. These things do not stop moving.
No, they evolved to get away from cheetahs. There used to be North American cheetahs.
Yeah.
And so North America, this is all before the Younger Dryas impact. So it was like when somewhere around 11,800 years ago, 65% of all North American mammals went extinct. And there was an American lion that was bigger than the African lion. And then there was a cheetah. And these fuckers, these guys evolved to get away from cheetahs. So they can run like 55 miles an hour.
Forever.
Crazy.
They fucking
Evolution is
fly.
crazy, though. Isn't it crazy?
Evolution's
It's
wild.
ridiculous.
When
It's
you
the shit.
look at them, they
Yeah.
look prehistoric.
Yeah.
Their eyeballs are
Yeah.
like way out here.
Yeah.
It's crazy how good a decoy works with them, though.
Oh, horses too. Guys walk right up on them on horses.
Yeah, get a moo cow out thing, just walk right behind that
Walk
bitch.
right behind them, and then you can. That's how archery hunters do it a lot.
Because you have to get live, yeah.
Very tough to sneak up on them.
So
but
smart,
do you
but
do
so
bow
dumb.
hunt? Do you ever bow hunt?
No,
No. Would you want to learn? You would love
It's
it.
not that
you
I
would
haven't-
fall in
He
love with
shoots
it.
a
Just
bow-
like
bow
go.
I
shoots a lot,
have a
but
bow.
Just hasn't hunted.
I shot an elk and did not recover it, and I told myself that I will never go archery hunting unless I have the time and effort to be 100% ready to make that shot.
Right.
And so right now it's just rifle.
Well, rifle is always going to be the most effective way. It's still an awesome way. to
Coos
hunt.
whitetail in Arizona is my favorite hunt.
Oh, really?
You should go on that with me one of these days.
That's a fun hunt. Those are tiny little guys. the
tiny
little
and
gray ghosts.
I grew up there, so my buddies their whole life have looked. We could go out there, we wouldn't find shit.
Right.
They're fucking everywhere, but
Oh,
we
they're
can't
hard to spot.
find them.
Yeah,
They
they're
call them the
very
gray ghost,
yep.
and my buddies can find them, and it's such a fun hunt.
Yeah, it's a great hunt. Well, Arizona's a great hunting state too. You have
Yeah,
some of
it
the
really
best
is.
elk in the
Elk.
country.
Yep.
Yeah. Gentlemen, again, congratulations. Absolute
Yes, sir.
masterpiece
Yeah,
Sunday
thank you.
night. One for history. One of the, maybe the greatest event in the history of the sport. I mean,
Got me
look
on
at
Joe
it.
Rogan again, baby.
Anytime.
Let's
Let's do
go.
it one more time. Let's do it one more time when you do decide to
Yes,
wrap
sir.
it up. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
And
Absolutely.
onyxsports.com. Get the best clubs in the world. My brother. Thank you. All right. Bye.